Hey everybody!
Welcome everyone. This is the Exp Talk Show. Thank you so much for dealing with the minor issues we had earlier. I appreciate you guys hanging out still after the crash, the great crash of 2018.
The OBS crash
of 2018.
It's taking too much power.
Yeah.
She is giving it all she got.
But yeah, so this is the XP Talk Show. For those of you guys who haven't been here before, my name's Steve.
I'm Lee.
And basically the way this show works is pop and pop.
There you go.
Bam.
Yeah.
Basically the way the show works is we talk weekly about different scientific discoveries, and are you trying to hold your name?
Trying to.
Weekly scientific discoveries, some new stuff, and then we kind of chat about it, go off on some tangents, and just overall try to have a fun time sharing perspectives and spreading information. If you guys have any questions for us, we usually save them for the end, or if we're going like through the topic and we decide to stop for a second and talk for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, but we do the show weekly. You guys can see 7:30 p.m. CT. A little bit earlier this week. We're doing it about an hour earlier because I don't want to keep you guys waiting.
Yeah.
We
knew a lot of people were hanging out just a little bit ago, so thought we'd just like ramp up and just get right into the show rather than have you guys waiting any longer.
Let's just get into it.
So we usually do like the show, yeah, like you said, 7:30, but on occasion we'll change it up depending on how we feel, when I get here, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
But the sooner that we started, the sooner that we can get into these adventures and all these chats and talks about the universe that surrounds us.
Yeah.
Surrounds us. That's
What's the jowly voice?
Nothing like a good jowly voice.
Around us.
But yeah, so I'm Lee. This is Steve. You guys know Steve. You've been hanging out with him for a little bit. I'm Lee. I come here every week. Good to see y'all. We got some interesting topics to talk about this week, but what we usually like to do is we like to talk about our last week to see how our last week went, so we can have talks about how fun our last week was.
Oh yeah!
Steve, I'm giving to the good people.
I'll give it to the good people. Give them to the good people.
Give it to the good people.
It's been it was interesting. So I got like recently turned on to this a set of lectures by this guy. His name's Jordan Peterson. And well, maybe that'll be our topic, I think, this week. So I'll skip that. It was basically
I gained. Topics. You got.
I only got one topic.
You don't want to do this one?
No, I'm gonna do this topic.
Okay.
But I think that would be a good one because it kind of like ties into it.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
But anyway, Jordan Peterson, shout out to that guy. He's got a lot of really cool lectures. I'd recommend anybody just listen and talk, or not talk about, listen and see. Listen and see.
Listen and watch.
Podcast watch. That's the word.
That's the word you're looking for.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Use your eyes to watch it.
Yes. But it was just an interesting thing. I was feeling kind of down over the past week and a half because I didn't hear about any new jobs. I didn't get any emails back, and I was just kind of down and out for a little bit. And I've been feeling like I've been lacking a purpose, so to speak. And this kind of remedied a little bit of that. So I think we'll talk about it. But
yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I got to hang out with. Well, we locked on a wedding date.
Yeah.
So that was pretty big.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
August 25th, 2020.
Couple years.
So that's pretty great.
Yeah. It's literally going to be a couple years in a week or so. A couple weeks. Yeah. That's awesome.
And then what else? And that was like the big thing, I would say. And then
yesterday,
I got to hang out with this guy.
This butt. Hung out with my butt, not
I've
me.
I've been dreaming of this pizza for like 2 months, and I was like, I knew he was off on Wednesday, and I just wanted to check. And I was like, yo, you want to go get this pizza? And I just sent him a picture of that pizza, and he was like, dude.
He didn't even need to send me a picture of the pizza. Like when he was just like, I have a hankering for this type of pizza, and I was like, yeah, no, duh, let's just go get pizza.
Yeah.
Like I didn't need to be convinced. You didn't need to send me anything. Because pizza's good.
Dude.
I don't know if you guys have ever had pizza before. New hot craze. But it's good.
Oh man. Yeah, Boston was all about it. Boston was the one who messaged me when I posted that tweet. He's like, is that fucking whipped cream?
Definitely
on
not
your
whipped cream.
pepperoni pizza. I was
Yeah.
like, no, dude, it's whipped ricotta cheese.
Ricotta cheese on pizza and
sweet
pepperoni. It
pepperoni.
was just the goodest.
And we had what was
Whipped
that
cream.
sausage and giardiniera pizza, which
Yeah.
was just. Mwah.
Spicy, sausagey, little base. Oh god, I'm getting
Kinda
hungry
sweet.
again. Don't you love like after your body hasn't given you any signs of being hungry?
Yeah.
You know that first one that it gives you when it's just like, and then like you're just I'm
so
hungry. Yeah.
Like I'm really hungry.
I could go for some food too. We're just gonna eat pizza for the entire stream
Yeah.
if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah. Where was it from? Mellow Mushrooms? Wait, Mellow Mushroom, is that a place? No, it was from a place called Coal Fire Pizza.
Where did you get mellow
It
mushrooms
was
from?
in the chat.
Oh, mellow mushroom.
That must be a location. I don't know. But anyway,
We got some killer pizza
Coal
joints
Fire
here.
Pizza, Coal Fire Chicago is what it's called. If you ever go to Chicago, visit whatever, that is, I would recommend like an amazing place to go for pizza. And then
Yeah.
if you're here longer, there are other pizza places you should go to.
Several delicious pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
if
I don't know what
mellow
that
mushroom. Mellow mushroom doesn't
Yeah.
sound appetizing. I don't like mushrooms, so
You haven't had good mushrooms.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I've tried them, but yeah.
What
So,
else? Was there anything else? I don't think there was
man.
anything else that was super crazy.
any super adventures that you went on, or
No, well, I did find out about a website that has like esport job listings.
yeah?
So that was pretty cool.
You were talking about that one, but
So
yeah.
I applied for like 5 or 6 jobs yesterday, and then like 3 or 4 jobs today. So that was pretty nice. But it's
Turning your everyday craft into a potential career.
I don't know what it's called,
Wouldn't that be rad?
but that was a majority of my week.
Yeah.
What about you, Lee?
Oh man. So last Friday, I had a couple buddies come over.
I don't have the name.
We were watching some science fiction. Dude, oh my gosh. So Friday night, I had a couple buddies over. We were having some beers and stuff like that, like old friends from high school. And then one of my friends, who's literally my oldest friend, Pat. Friends with him since 7th grade, right?
Yeah.
And we were just, I was texting him throughout the week last week, and I was like, guys, let's come over, like, let's drink beer and watch like old sci-fi movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Pat lent me his login for, I totally forgot the streaming service name, Filmstruck.
Filmstruck. Okay.
So
What is that?
for
What's the
Filmstruck.
server? What's the service, dude? Like, what makes it different?
So
Is it
it's all like classic movies.
Oh.
Like all classic movies.
Like
Just, like,
50s
old
and
movies.
earlier?
Yeah, like a lot of old stuff, a lot of like, 40s, 50s, 60s, all that kind of stuff.
Whoa.
And of course, they have a goddamn science fiction section.
That's amazing.
So just imagine
Old
just
sci-fi?
old, like, original science fiction that basically was the birth of science fiction itself. Like,
Damn.
this streaming service had it, right?
Yeah.
So, oh my god.
You guys are just freaking.
So we were freaking, right? And so drugs were involved. So we were watching these movies, right? And then I stumbled across, because we were just like, which one should we watch? There's so much, like Godzilla, like original Godzilla's on there.
I love original Godzilla.
So it's really great. Which, by the way, quick side note, that new Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer
Yeah.
looks pretty sick. I'm not
I didn't
gonna
even
lie.
see it.
You should watch it. It looks pretty sick.
Because the first new one that they came out with was
It wasn't.
cool.
It was pretty cool, but it wasn't like
It was
the
just
best
entertaining.
They could do. Yeah.
It wasn't like, well, that's all the movies. Like,
Yeah.
it was never like,
Visually stimulating, and that's about
yeah,
it.
just
Like,
explosions and a giant monster
Right.
terrorizing the city. That's what I want to see.
when they spoiler alert for those, I mean, who cares? Because if you haven't seen it, it's been
When
like
did
4
that come
years,
out?
4 or
Yeah.
5 years ago, or something like that. But when, oh man, what's his actor's name?
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. When Bryan Cranston died in the movie, like halfway through,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like I wanted him to be alive the whole time. Anyways, ADD tangent, totally cool. So, give the boy a follow. So, so King of the Monsters, Godzilla, Filmstruck service, back on track.
Gotcha.
So we were searching the movies on Filmstruck to watch one,
Uh-huh.
and stumbled across a little known film from 1984 called Time Bandits.
Time Bandits?
Have you seen this movie?
No.
Oh fuck! So
Why? I
Time
don't think
Bandits.
I've ever even heard of them.
Dude, it is so good, and you
is
need
good?
to watch it because it's like, so it's basically, and I remembered it, and I was like, no hesitation, we're watching this.
Yeah.
Because my dad showed me this when I was a kid.
So it was like extra nostalgia.
It was extra nostalgia, right? So
Let me see if I can find the trailer where you tell
yeah,
us.
if you Time Bandits trailer or something like that. Oh man. So it's basically like, okay, yeah. Let's watch this trailer and then let's discuss. We're gonna watch a little trailer for the movie Time Bandits from 1984. 81. I'm sorry, 81. I knew that messed that up. But this is like some OG, science fiction that I used to watch when I was younger. Super strange, super weird.
Boop.
Harambe didn't die in vain.
Yeah,
what's up?
Your name is great.
Harambe didn't die in vain. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We're just about to watch the movie trailer for the movie Time Bandits from 1981.
Mission Impossible.
We're not sponsored. Don't worry about it.
Showtime.
We're
It's
not
got a
sponsored.
95%.
Off the chart spectacular.
Nobody cares.
It's the best mission yet.
Nobody cares.
I did hear it's pretty. Movie's pretty gnarly, but I don't know how they're still making those movies. All right, let's check it out.
My voice. I do trailers. All kinds of trailers.
23, take 2.
One day they'll put me in a film, a proper full-length job. Until then, I'm just stuck with this sort of stuff. Go and see this.
Oh, Scott John,
Don't
please.
miss that. The most terrifying thing you ever saw is coming to babysit for you tonight.
All right, cut it there.
Yeah, dude, Ian
Look,
Holmes in it.
just read what's on the script, will you?
What?
The script. Other way up.
Ah. Ready?
Yes, yes.
You flock to see brief encounters for the special...
Close.
Huh? Close encounters.
Close Encounters, the film.
Oh, I never saw it.
This is
Forget
such a
that film. We're on
strange
about
trailer.
our film. Time Bandits. Time Bandits, the one you are supposed to be promoting. Remember?
What is
You
going
flock
on
to
in this
see close
trailer?
encounters for the special
It's
effects.
just as weird in
You
the
went to
movie.
Superman to see a man fly. You went to Star Wars for the droids. You went...
Now what?
What's page 2, man?
It's under page 1. See?
Went to Star Wars for the droids.
No context, and I have
Bandits
no
can
idea
offer
what's
you
happening.
much.
This looks like a fucking
I'll
bad
discuss.
drug trip.
I will discuss.
Or flying men, or droids, which makes Time Bandits a unique cinematic system.
Cinematic. You know, pertaining to the cinema.
Cinematic experience,
What?
it's the makeup. Yes, folks, you've never seen anything like it. Men made up to look like monsters.
Dude.
Monsters made up to look like men. Look-alike men made up to look different. Different men made up to look alike. No expense has been spared on the pan stick. No expense has been spared flying in the world's greatest makeup man.
Just a minute, just a minute. What about the plot?
The what?
The plot. What the film is about.
Well, I haven't seen it. have
How
I?
long does it go for? Because I could just keep talking.
Dude,
Okay.
this is 3
All right.
minutes.
All right,
no.
we can cut it out. Okay, so that's a
I feel
definitely
like I was on
a
a slight drug trip for like a little bit of
non-traditional
that.
movie trailer for sure. So
What the fuck?
So let me explain.
Okay, so tell us what Time Bandits is.
So
And spoiler alert, if you're spoiled, this is like 40 years.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I think it's like 35.
35 years. I was
So,
close.
Time Bandits 1981 is a film that's basically about these like little people, right?
Okay.
That have basically stolen like this magical map from this like godlike creature that's from another dimension.
And that's how the movie starts.
That's basically how it starts, right? Well, it
Okay.
starts with this kid, like that little kid that you saw.
Okay.
In like our dimension or whatever, right?
Okay.
And so, and then this horse crashes through his cupboard or his closet.
Yeah.
Very like Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe kind of thing. If you ever read that book.
Yeah.
So horse like comes through and then he like thinks it's a dream and then he the next night he falls asleep and then these like time bandits come through his cupboard or his
So his closet is
his
like
closet,
a
that's
time portal.
right. So then and then they basically like swoop him up like on their journey. And so basically, like,
Okay.
they have this map, and they're literally just time bandits. Like, so they go through time,
To steal
like,
things.
just to steal things, and, like, have this magical map, and the whole journey is, like, this, like, godlike creature trying to get back his map that he had. And it's just, like, and it's in 1981, and it's, like, the guys that did, like, Life of Brian and...
I don't think I've ever seen Life.
Yeah, like all of those kind of like old like UK,
Yeah, yeah.
comedy movies and stuff. So it's funny, it's weird, it's
Yeah,
like super
clearly.
trippy, and it's like, and it's, you know, all those like stupid, you know, visual effects that you know, from like the early 80s and
Monty
stuff.
Python, yeah.
Monty Python, that's what I was looking for. And so like,
gonna
it's
say,
just this
please,
hilarious trip. It's just a hilarious trip.
It
so,
just looked like a drug trip, that whole thing, right there.
dude, it was so fucking fun.
So you
So we
guys
watched
watched
it on
that.
Friday night. So that was the
Okay.
Friday night. Had some adventures with them. Saturday was my my good cousin's 30th birthday. We
Yes.
hung out there on like a rooftop little place that was downtown, which is super fun.
Uh-huh.
And
Which cousin? Ed?
my cousin Sam, actually.
Sam.
It was actually
Okay.
on my mom's side, so I don't really have a good relationship with my mom's side of the family.
Yeah, yeah.
But them I do, and it's pretty great. So
Cool.
It was cool to like kind of reconnect with them and everything. Sunday was stuff. Monday was other stuff. Oh yeah, Sunday night was the hot noodle stream
Yes.
with my sister.
Yeah. You guys hurt your buttholes. Your
Oh, it was
beagles.
not good. So my sister, my brother, my sister's boyfriend, and I went over to my sister's place to do this live stream of that like hot noodle challenge that everyone's
Yes.
doing on YouTube, and it sucked. It was rough. Like it was like not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, like the spiciness of the noodles.
Yeah.
But then they started like, let's kick it up a notch. It was totally like a, you know, for the likes kind
For
of
the
thing, where they were
likes.
just like throwing sriracha and like red peppers and
Extra
like
spicy stuff for no reason.
and I was just sitting there, I'm like, this is not going to come out very well. So I had to take the Monday off of work because I was like just a hot
fucked
mess
over from
inside.
that?
Yeah. Then
Hot
Wednesday, you
farts in
and
a
I hung
soft
out.
serve machine.
Oh, dude, it's bad. It was like, you know, when you take a squirt gun and it's a push squirt gun and you're at the very end of the squirt gun.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, it was bad. It was
oh
rough.
god.
It's no good, guys. Don't eat a bunch of hot, spicy noodles.
Yeah, don't add additional spicy shit to the already spicy noodles.
It was no bueno. And like the packaging is like in Chinese and it's
Of
like
course.
super spicy and hot and like, you know, hilarious cartoons of ducks that are like on fire.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so it was a rough Sunday night, but yeah, Tuesday night we didn't hang out Tuesday night. That
Wednesday.
was last. Wednesday we hung out, had some good adventure boy time.
Yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Oh man, it feels like it was an age ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes down to those days when we hang out like all day, it
Yeah.
feels like
Feels like ages.
also like a weekend almost too.
No,
That
Tuesday-
had to have been like 3 days ago.
Tuesday you still came out, or was that last Tuesday for Big Star?
Big Star was last Tuesday. We've been hanging out on like a weekly.
Man, yeah, we've been kicking it.
We didn't even talk about Big Star. Did we talk about Big Star?
I don't
last
think
week?
we did, because we were gonna do that big half acre beer and taco thing.
Yeah, and then it was like really
and then it was
far
just
away.
then it was just tacos, and it ended up being a long wait anyway.
Yeah,
so,
and we were like, okay, well,
whatevs. But that was my week, doing a lot of like wedding stuff, just getting all that planned,
yep,
getting shit on lock, dude.
it's coming up, dude.
Man, I can't wait. Yeah, next week we will be off show next week because I'll be in San Francisco
San Fran for the
for
bachelor
the
party.
bachelor weekend, so it's gonna be a rad time.
What do you have planned?
for the bachelor weekend?
Yeah.
Oh man. So
I already know,
Third-
but like I'm like they gotta know.
yeah, tell the peoples. So Thursday's when we fly in. Thursday night we're gonna do like their version of like a planetarium after dark kind of adventure time thing. So like cocktails at this like planetarium in San Francisco, which I'm really excited for. Friday night is a live symphony performance of the soundtrack from Return to the Jedi while watching Return to the Jedi.
Hell yeah!
Which is so sick.
That's
for all them
sick.
Star Wars fans out there. And then visiting like the Lucasfilm headquarters and shit. Oh, it's gonna be so sick.
sick.
Oh, I can't wait. We're just gonna get drunk most of the time. So
Stay hydrated, bro.
oh yeah, we're gonna hydrate. It's gonna be beer, water all day.
Beer water, aka Natty Ice.
No. Well, yeah, that is beer,
It is
beer
beer
water,
water.
but I
It's
can.
more beer than water, but
I
there's
have
a
to
lot of water
refuse.
in there.
I
I
have
would
to
never.
refuse
I would
any.
refuse that.
What is like the shittiest beer that you either consistently drink or just like would drink? Like there's a limit.
There's a limit. The limit is Coors Light.
Dude, the limit for me is PBR. Like that's the shittiest
I'll drink
I can
PBR,
go. You know what I mean?
but like I think PBR is above Coors.
Yes, and yeah,
Coors tastes
yeah.
like meat. If it's remotely, if those mountains aren't cold, It's a dangerous and fucking gross thing to drink.
If that, like, yeah, if those like Blue Mountains or whatever the fuck, like, they spent more money on the packaging and the marketing of it than just making the beer better, probably.
Right. Well,
you know?
and
It's
then on
like-
top of that too, like if you see the commercials, they never talk about how the beer tastes. It's just about how cold it is.
Yeah,
and how you can tell it's
check out
cold.
the cold activated can.
It's cold. Yeah, exactly.
It's like that, and that's your
In
marketing.
a
It's
wide
like,
mouth for you to drink it as fast as you can because it tastes like shit. Like they
You know,
don't talk
yeah.
about any of that.
Yeah, you know, did you know that like Mountain Dew were the first like wide mouth can? You remember that? You remember when
No.
they marketed that?
I don't remember that.
Like I remember the
Probably
transition.
during Call of Duty days. Or
Oh, it was even
Halo.
earlier. I think it was earlier, like around Halo. I'm pretty sure.
It would have had to be
early
because
Halo.
Halo was the first like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like craze. Like
Yeah.
everybody was like
Big video
bro.
game thing.
Mountain Dew Red, Code Red, bro.
Dude, Code Red, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, it was like during that whole marketing of like Code Red and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Mountain Dew that made the wide mouth can. Because can you imagine a time where there's like a can that wasn't wide mouth?
No.
Right? Isn't that weird?
Well,
then
I
they
wasn't
started
drinking
that.
soda back then.
Yeah.
Because like
I
the whole
kinda
Code
was
Red
anyway,
thing,
yeah.
I wasn't like I don't know. I don't. The stuff I was boring. I drank like Fresca and
Well, they were that was still canned soda.
Monster.
Yeah.
But
So those are
Monster
still
had
canned.
like the cap. I got to get the double.
Oh, it was like
with
the
the turn cap at the top.
Dude, those energy drinks fuck me up.
Now they do.
They're not good. There's just
They're
so
not-
much in your belly.
Oh my god, yeah. But back then it was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Monster, dude.
Yeah,
Let's
you're
fucking
an
get some Monster,
invincible,
bro.
like 18-year-old kid. That
You
you're
could
just-
sleep
I don't
literally
care.
anywhere. Like so many sleepovers at my buddy's place were like we're on a shitty couch or on the floor. And it's
Oh,
like
man.
they have to sleep like a baby.
You remember those days? Yeah, we're just like
Yeah.
you just do literally anything.
And you had no drug influence whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you would just lay on the ground, be loopy, and say stupid ass shit.
Yeah. Like I remember when like I was like started drinking and like my body was just like, who cares?
Yeah.
So you can get as drunk as you possibly can, and then the next day
Barf
you're
and
just
be
like,
fun.
you're just like, hi, you know. But
Yeah.
it's just weird. But yeah, the wide mouth can and stuff is just like every time I think of a wide mouth can, I'm just like, oh, that kind of started with
Mountain Dew.
Back in those like early Halo days. You
So
know?
weird.
Isn't that crazy? And now every can is a wide mouth can.
Even like if LaCroix boys.
Oh yeah, every can
How do
is
you
wide
tell?
mouth.
Is
Next
it 'cause
time,
it's got like a little
so
schmoop on
do you have
it?
any aluminum? Do you have any
I
cans?
have no cans.
Okay. You don't know. Because essentially the original size of the mouth of the can was like the width of the pull tab. It was like that wide, and that's like how small it was. You know what I mean?
I
Like
think I know
if
what
it's
you're
just like
talking
a
about.
if it's just a wider mouth. These are the
Yeah.
kind of discussions that we get into here on the Exp Talk Show podcast.
Tangents.
Yeah. So lots of tangents, right?
Weird.
If anyone has a favorite soda from that era,
Blue Gamer Fuel Mountain Dew.
dude, favorite soda from that era, you just shout it
Baja
out.
Blast, dude.
Dude, mine was.
I have people who still like abide by that. They're like Baja Blast, bro. It's the fucking
like
shit.
it's
dude.
good, but it still sucks. It's
I
like
don't
still
like,
shitty.
I don't
soda.
like soda.
Yeah, same here, dude. I cold turkey it.
If
in,
I'm
like-
gonna do it, I don't know. I feel like when I think soda, the first thing that pops into my head is Grape Crush.
Grape Crush is good. Very, very sugary. Like you were
100%.
tasting sugar and not grapes.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
But yeah, grape soda.
It didn't even taste like grape. It tastes like purple.
It just tasted like liquid
Sugar,
purple.
soda, purple. Those are the ingredients.
Dude,
That's the
did
Dave
you ever,
Chappelle joke.
do you ever remember Squirt?
Yeah, of course.
Such a weird name for a soda, but like
Definitely.
it was good.
Give me a squirt, bro.
It was very like lemon.
I
lemon
did
lime.
not. I remember when I didn't like those because I drank like 3 of them in one day and ended up throwing up because
Ugh.
it was I was a kid, so it was like hot dogs and like shitty food. It was a
Yeah.
barbecue or something.
But again,
It was
as a
4th of
kid,
July.
yeah.
So I had like 3 of those and then like something chlorine in the pool or some shit. I don't know. I
You were
barfed. And it
drinking-
was gross. It just
yeah.
tasted like. It's like too many lemon heads. You know how when you've had
Oh,
like
yeah,
3
yeah.
or 4 lemon heads and you have this residual kind of lemon flavor, but it's really just shit in your mouth.
Isn't that so like that's so crazy?
Artificial
like
flavoring,
Oh, the
whatever?
artificial
Yeah.
flavoring in sodas and stuff, and it's like, and yeah, when I just get cold turkey, like I used to be like Dr Pepper like every day.
DP.
You know what I mean?
That was
get
the
that
best.
get
That
that DP all day.
Yeah, I don't even remember what it. I remember what it tastes like.
Yeah.
There's a soda called Zevia, which uses stevia. It's carbonated.
Oh yeah.
Carbonated water, stevia, and then like natural flavoring or whatever.
Right.
And they have a soda that tastes like Dr. Pepper, and I was getting that for a bit. And I was like,
But-
why
but
am I
does it-
buying this?
But does it really taste like Dr. Pepper?
It does.
though?
Well,
Does it?
I don't know. I'm tainted from not having it. For
That's the
more
point. Like
than
that's
2
the thing
years.
is like it's the shitty
It's the
sugars.
closest thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the shitty sugars that.
And now that
make
I'm not
Dr. Pepper.
drinking anything, I'm like soda water. Dude.
Yeah. Dude, like, and like, I hate to, kind of sound pretty hipster here, but like, Elaine and I did the same thing. We just like started doing LaCroix like all day, every day, and it's like, it's cheap, and you can get a lot of it, and it kind of like it triggers that whole like I need something carbonated right now, like kind of thing in your brain.
Dude, the bubbles are nice. Like I don't know,
tastes good.
Soda water for me, like I like LaCroix. It's okay. Like if I had to choose between soda water from like the spout and LaCroix, I'm gonna go soda water from the spout because the bubbles are way better.
The bubbles are good.
Dude, there's a lot more bubbles in that soda. It just like hits your mouth and you're like,
See, that's sometimes like
I
a
don't know,
noise.
it just like hits your face real nice.
Going like,
It just like it goes into your cheeks and like I don't know. It's just like
are you
like,
getting a boner from thinking about soda water?
Dude, soda water's great.
Soda water makes me erect.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Dude.
Let's not trend that hashtag. Okay?
Soda water gets my dick hard. I've been saying that a lot, I've realized. I was like, why do I say that? Yeah. You know what really gets my dick hard? Soda water. Like, I don't know why I've been saying that as of late.
It still rolls off the tongue,
It does. It's a great phrase. There's something about it that's like, I'm trying to remove, I think it's because I've been trying to remove hilarious and like all these words that like really don't mean what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
You know it's funny?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what gets my dick hard?
Well, funny is funny. Yeah, you know what really gets my dick hard? Some pepperoni pizza with some fucking ricotta cheese.
And not whipped cream.
Dude,
not whipped cream.
And oh my god, that pizza was so good. I cannot wait to eat it.
Dude, it was
again.
so good, but I was still kind of bummed about the fans in the restaurant that were like, that basically like cooled off the pizza.
Yeah.
I
didn't
but still,
ruin it for
like
me.
it wasn't. Well, I'm not saying.
I
it was
definitely
bad.
agree. If it was hotter, it would have been nice. But like, dude, that fucking ricotta cheese, that pepperoni.
We just like it made it.
Every
quicker
bite
to
was
eat.
amazing.
Oh yeah, it was so good, dude. Pizza for life. Pepperoni pizza is also the best pizza, and if anybody wants to fight me on that, you can go ahead.
I mean, we should just show them really quick for those uneducated.
Dude, like try to find like a 10-hour loop of some sort of pizza on YouTube, and then set it to the background of what we're doing.
Oh, 10-hour pizza.
Just have it. We need a new background.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that.
We need like a little bit new background here. So.
Okay.
Normally here on the Exp Talk Show podcast, we'll have like a nice little spacey background because that's where our minds are. Yeah, please give me like a just say pizza loop. Just say pizza loop or something like that, or pizza 10 hours, something like that. Yeah. So good. Sausage is the best pizza. Sausage is a good close second, but pepperoni is still first. Again, I will fight you.
You're wrong, and you should know that.
How long does that go for?
A long time.
Oh, hell yeah. You guys ready for some pizza backgrounds? We're about to give you some pizza backgrounds.
Okay, how do I do this?
Turn that off.
Oh, that's
you gotta change the...
webcam. Lock it.
Lock the webcam. There it is.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are ready for this? Oh.
I'm doing like drooling. I'm like gonna glean.
Dude, that looks great. That looks like great pizza. Just have it. Dude, that's so perfect. We gotta kind of stay out of the way too. Like we kind of have to like hang out like over here.
I can just like
hey guys,
completely
thanks
green screen ourselves to the point where we're like transparent. We're like, we are the pizza.
You guys are about to get that real pizza life right
That's
now.
good.
All right,
Come on.
that looks okay. But again, we have to kind of like.
Oh hell yeah, brother!
We got like I'll just.
You
I'll
know
just
what really
let
makes
the
my dick
pizza-
hard? Pepperoni pizza. Fuck yeah, dude.
I'll really just let the pizza kind of take the show for the rest of it. And what kind of pizza is that, guys? Pepperoni pizza.
Oh shit! I fucked it up.
Oh no! Oh no! It's pizza roasting in the oven.
Pet, oh baby.
So just love it. Anyways, so I don't know how we're gonna continue the conversation today. Yeah, we're live streaming here, coming at you live inside of a pizza oven. We're inside a pizza oven.
We're getting baked.
This this pizza is a diameter of 18 feet, and it's the biggest pizza I've ever made.
Oh my god! Can you imagine getting
dude?
it? Yes. Yes,
God.
please.
It's for some reason we end up talking about pizza every time the show. But anyways, so
Pizza, tacos, doesn't fried chicken. All right. I'm done talking
I'm
about
so
food,
fucking
guys.
hungry.
I'm really hungry.
I'm
Can
gonna
we get into the topics?
I don't want to get into. I don't want to eat shitty food when I get home. No, Elaine's making some like gumbo.
Fuck yeah, gumbo.
Some delicious
Fucking
gumbo.
gumbo,
So
dude.
yes, as you guys can see, for those of you who've been hanging out from the beginning of the show, from the top of the show, we talked about literally like 40 different things. Because our minds work that way. ADD is a terrible drug. It's not a drug. It's a thing that happens in your brain. So we go on these wacko tangents all the time.
Wacko tangents.
Like our brain will just kind of connect to some sort of subject matter and we'll talk about it. That's what happens here on the Exp Talk Show. So we appreciate you guys sticking around.
This is a journey.
It's a journey. We're taking a trip. We're taking a trip
with us.
And you guys have joined us now to the trip that's inside the pizza oven, largest pizza oven on planet Earth.
We have now become pizza. So, today's scientific topics.
Woo!
We've got a little bit to go off of. One was kind of like, well, some of the best ideas come while we're doing shit.
So good.
But the first one I feel like we should knock out.
Let's knock it out.
On the first topic we should knock out is an easy one, and it's about them finding a lake on Mars.
Yes.
Is there a lake?
There is a lake on Mars. So this is wonderful, wonderful news.
And explain to the people what that could be.
So a couple things. So if you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen it all over the news. This is no like ordinary. I saw that Mars isn't real. Cut the shit. Because Mars is so real.
I saw a GIF today of a flat earther thing. It was my reaction when somebody said that Mars is round because there's scientific evidence of it, but the Earth is flat, and it was just like.
It was Christian Bale.
Like,
he was just like, huh? Yeah, I saw that.
And then I just saw like
post.
leagues of John Travolta's like from Pulp Fiction like. Walking around on Earth, like, what the fuck?
Huh? What? So Mars is real. Get that into your stinking minds. Mars is real, and there's a lake on it. So this is something that was just recently discovered by some NASA. It was NASA different satellites and probes that were like orbiting Mars.
Gotcha.
So it captured this kind of data, and this is what's fascinating about like just the fact that we found this is that technology was able to find that for us.
But how? That's what I'm curious is like, was it X-ray like satellite penetration? Did they say anything?
Let me try to see. I can't think of
Detected.
the specific science behind it. But essentially, they found like a body, like an ice sheet that was on the I believe the northern tip of the planet, which is kind of like our North Pole to a degree. And as you guys know, quick little science lesson: when you have a planet that's orbiting around a certain axis, you have like the tips of the actual planet are colder than the center of the planet. Reason being, it's because they're further from the sun. So that's why our planet has a North Pole and a South Pole. And then usually the center equator of our planet is most warm and the hottest, just because it's closest to the sun. Bada bing, bada boom. So basically something similar was found on Mars, and now there's this frozen lake that is on Mars, right? And now, at first they were just like, holy shit. Well, there was evidence even before that of like valleys that were carved out by water that were dried up. So very similar to planet Earth, where it's like you have this dried up water.
Like
and you
the
have
Grand
these,
Canyon
like
is
the
like
Grand
the
Canyon.
biggest example, yeah.
Exactly. So there were similar things like that on Mars that they found. So they were like, okay, water's been on this planet before. We have that evidence. And then they get to this frozen lake that then also they found out, this is what was recent, is that there's liquid water underneath that frozen surface.
Awesome. So it definitely was
so
some sort of like penetrative satellite rays or something.
Because
Because that's how they observe like planets like from far away distances.
Right.
Is they hit it with like a certain X-ray or I don't know, some sort of signal that'll bounce back and give you like a depth.
And they just
they
just fucking math the shit out of it to
Yeah.
be able to like come up with the equation that says, oh yeah, that's water, you know?
Yes.
Same thing happened to Europa, which is one of the moons of Jupiter. Also has an ice crust, and it's just literally a sheet of ice around a body of water. So it's like,
yes.
so which is super crazy, right? So now, with Mars being like, so it's basically like some of the frozen lakes that are on planet Earth. So this is what was fascinating, is that we can, study things that are on Earth's surface to be able to replicate that same kind of data to other planets, and that's how they actually find that out, because the laws of physics are just about the same throughout the universe
Right.
as it is here. So, so what does that mean? Having a liquid body of water on another planet like that. So the other thing is that there were not only is it liquid water, but also there were signs of salt as well. So liquid and salt, which is basically like the combination of life.
Yeah.
Right? So so even if like there's just like tiny little organisms or whatever the fuck is up there, or remnants of organisms, bam, you got yourself like existence of life on another fucking planet, which is huge.
Well, it makes sense because I mean they've always speculated that Mars had, in some point in time during the billions of years of the universe existing, it being like a place for life.
Yeah.
And then slowly or something happened.
It was habitable because Mars is
It would have
fairly
had to have
close.
been.
Yeah,
I mean, it
Mars
just
is
makes
pretty
sense.
close to the habitable zone.
Right.
That like Earth is, right? So like at one point it very well could have been like that.
Right.
Maybe it had a shorter lifespan of the planet
Asteroid
or whatever.
impacts.
Yeah, something
Or
it
like
could have been 1,000.
Like the previous thing we talked about. Like imagine, that astral like ejection from the sun.
Yeah. Oh man.
Causing mass extinction on Earth. Like imagine what it would do to a planet that was.
Now the only signs that
Not
probably
in a good
wouldn't have been
spot.
an asteroid was just like is the
No,
probably
I
the
mean like
craters
not
to it?
not an asteroid impact on a planet, but in the sun.
Oh yeah.
That caused the ejection to occur, and then like rain, lightning, literally
Dude,
on Earth.
like rain, lightning, and fire just everywhere, just like singed everything. So like
Yeah.
So it's magical
Retreat
that
into
just
caves, cave paintings.
And there you go. That's that whole discussion again.
Sorry, guys.
The things we don't know. So, but yeah, so this was like super fascinating that there's this liquid body. Now, the other thing about it is, the problem with trying to discover these things, like because we know that there are planets, there are moons that have liquid water on them.
Yes.
Some of it's like filled with methane and all that kind of stuff. They figure that part out, but in order to send something out there to discover that, like a rover or even people or something like that, discover it, super expensive, it's super long, all that kind of stuff. But another thing in the news everyone's talking about is just how like people like SpaceX and Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic, they want to send rockets to Mars. They want to send people to Mars, right?
Yeah.
So because that's so tangible, we'll be able to easily send something to Mars to be able to research that, and we also have rovers that are already on Mars discovering stuff. So
cool.
So it's a very fascinating step in our space discovery around our solar system, and then what lies beyond onto those planets. So I'm just hoping they find like a crazy like fucking worm.
Yeah,
or something.
that'd be cool. I mean, they just did that with the Arctic sheet or whatever. What's it called? There's like some sort of Arctic sheet that's like
Antarctica.
No. It's like a specific kind of ice. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I forgot the term.
Oh crap! I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. We're not experts.
Yeah,
we're not experts.
We're not experts, but
basically
we're just
they found some
advocates.
worms essentially in this like prehistoric ice. They thawed them out, and the worms were still alive somehow.
Whoa!
And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, the possibilities
So
are
like,
endless.
if that's on Mars, that'd be crazy.
But it's like
BTs, thanks for being here. Hey, I'm gonna need some mod help. Josh, can you break up Christopher and Harambe right now? Put the smack on them.
You guys fighting?
Purge that shit.
Are they fighting? I couldn't
They're
tell.
fighting right now.
We're getting too
and
much
they're acting
into
like children.
Listen,
This is class.
this is all about science and learning and getting having
Permafrost.
fun.
There it is. 42,000 years come
Permafrost.
back to
That's
life.
it. That's it.
That's the word. Thank you so much, Obsidian Fire, my dude.
Why are you guys fighting? This is a Twitch stream for.
Yeah.
You got pizza behind us. How could you fight and
You're
how
not
could
supposed
you
to
get
roast
angry?
anybody. We're the ones roasting here
Right?
with pizza. Come
I
on,
wanna-
bros.
Okay. All right.
Calm down, guys.
I don't
Calm
know.
it
I
down.
don't know. I don't know what happened. Okay. Anyway,
Thanks for the raid curry, by the way. Thank
back
you.
to the discussion. You big goofs.
Okay, so yeah, basically we found out that Mars has water on it. You kept saying liquid water, and I was like, wait, what?
That's a
It's got
redundant.
water,
Liquid
Mars has got water on it. There's salt.
liquid hydrogen.
It's in the Earth. We found out via satellite magic and math. Thank you so much for finding it out, science. We look forward to your next discovery on Mars.
More discoveries on Mars. But that was the quick little discussion
Hell
piece
yeah.
that I wanted to cover because it was like blasted everywhere in the news and stuff. So this was actually New York Times that I have this article up on. So
Makes sense.
big time. Big deal.
Big time, big deal.
Big time, big deal.
Welcome in, everyone. So next topic is a little bit more like societal.
Societal.
Yeah, and the title of this, I mean, this is from Polygon, and as cited before, Polygon's not really a good source for science, but they decide, some people decide to publish articles that could, they do more harm than good, is what I would say, because
they kind of think it's more scientific when in actuality, maybe. But
thank you for the purge, bros. Not, hey, wait, no, not 600 seconds. Unban him. They apologized.
Such drama going on.
They just apologized. Please unban.
Oh no.
Okay, so now I'm getting back
Hates
into
a video. Oh no.
Don't worry, Harambu. No, go back.
Damn.
What are you doing?
It stopped the video. It's gonna go to the next video. Okay, there it goes.
There we go.
Back on the pizza.
Hey, sorry guys, sorry about
There's your pizza.
that. There you go. Yeah, okay, so now that is purged, it's just purging so that there's no chat history of this garbage. Okay, so the next article right now that came out was again from Polygon, and it's the title of it is "Gaming's Toxic Men Explained." Experts tackle the phenomenon of angry men, trolls, racists, and misogynists who hover around the game industry. Now, as far as this article goes, there is a lot of valid things that are in here. Such as citing like how video games were marketed towards boys, kind of like how Barbies were only for girls. There was definitely like a sort of gender influence in terms of like the direction of video games and where it's going and all that stuff. However, there's a lot of stuff that's wrong with this article. Now, the one thing that I would say that it does incorrectly is that it cites experts that don't really have a background. So the first person, for example, is a PhD candidate from a school, but doesn't have any sort of specialized background. And when they're explaining this stuff, a lot of the information that is in the article is unrelated to science being done and studies being done. It's more of a speculation and an observation of the past and how things like started and how we could get here now. As far as like the opinion that like I pulled from this was that there was a lot of talk about like if you're a male and you're playing video games, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be a toxic piece of shit, which I think the ratio from there is pretty fucking too high. I think it's too high.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes down to video games in general, like, and again, I'm using the words I feel because I'm basing it off of my own experience. I'm not an expert in the field, and neither are the people that are in this article. I would honestly like encourage all of you guys to like read this article just so you can draw your own conclusions. But from just like an overall perspective, it just seems like they're trying to explain something they don't understand, and they're trying to get empathy, or not empathy, they're trying to get sympathy for, I don't know, it seems weird. It's like they're trying to be like, all men are this, all men do this because of this.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, there's a term for it. It's like overgeneralizing or something like that. It's just like
you're painting things that are black and white,
right? Generalizing to it. So
yeah, and like I mean, I think we can all agree. Some people use no worries. Yeah, forgiven. We just wanted to make sure it wasn't in the chat. But when it comes down to like video games and what they're used for, a lot of people do use them for outlets. And when it comes down to the behaviors that are exhibited online, a lot of it has to do with the anonymity that comes with being able to do it. So, I mean, it's not even just video games. Check YouTube comment sections.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, that is the most toxic area of the internet I can think of, next to, like, you know, just bullshit on 4chan, I guess. But in all honesty, when it comes down to YouTube, like, a lot of the comments that you read there are very negative and hateful. And, like, you don't share an opinion with somebody, so you suck. You know, like...
Yeah, there's a video of me on Steve Harvey's talk show that's on YouTube that like kind of gained some traction, and like just reading the comments on that YouTube video is hilarious.
Yeah, and also,
and I don't take them personal, but like it's still hilarious that people kind of come to those conclusions, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, like we were briefly talking about this before the show started. So like that masculinity is a, you know, and so this is kind of a weird a look at this here. So video games and the video game culture kind of started from those that were, I guess, like kind of castaways from society, kind of like neglected or
nerd
like
culture.
Nerd culture, right? It
Nerd.
Kind of birthed from there, right? So
Yeah.
they're in the real life, they're surrounded by negativity, right? They can't exude that negativity. Right. Because they'll get their ass kicked, or they'll like be made fun of more, or they just can't do it, or they can't get themselves to do it, or whatever it is.
Right.
And so, where else to let that steam go but video games?
Right.
Because you have this internet wall in front of you. You have this wall where like I'm invincible and I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
Right. I was like guilty of that in the early days of like Xbox Live and shit, where it's
For
just
sure,
like
dude.
you're
Halo
like
days.
fuck you, pussy. Like you're this goddamn.
Yep.
You just have
Messages
this
in all
unfiltered.
caps. I'll fucking kill you, kid.
Like you have this unfiltered approach to it because like. No one saw repercussions to it because it was the internet, and like early stages of the internet, no one gave a shit.
Yep.
Right? And B, I was, I forgot like my usernames back then, but it's like I was that. I wasn't Lee.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you were
So
not
it's like
that person.
I was literally not that person. I created this online persona.
Right.
That I felt was indestructible. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that of course like leads to just like this toxic masculinity where it's just, I see how much I have to be aggressive as a man.
Right.
Right? And because I'm a nerd and I am not aggressive, I have to put that aggression somewhere.
Right.
And video games was what it was. So it's
Right.
like, so
That
it's
was
not
the outlet.
surprising. Like, it's totally not surprising how this comes. And it's
Right.
still like that today.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
Overwatch is a great example.
Oh
of
my
that.
gosh. Like, we had this discussion about just aggression in general. Where does it come from when you're playing video games?
Right.
Still don't know.
Well, I think,
like,
I mean, it's a combination of a lot of things, but like ego is a big one. And I mean, when we come, I was talking to who was I talking to? I was talking to. It had to have been. Well, it was you. Yeah, it was that conversation with you where it's like, in order for you to have a good game of Overwatch, and when I say good game, I mean decent. You have to play between the hours of like 12 p.m. Sorry, no. You can even play earlier. I'd say like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then latest like 9 p.m. And the reason for that is because after those times is when everybody comes home from work.
Right. And then
It's just like a fucking shit show
everything.
after that. It's like, you get off Widow, motherfucker! Like, you
Yeah.
suck! Like, you're not doing anything. And then it could even be like polite. Like, you'd be like, listen, man, we need you to get off Widow because it's not helping the team.
Yeah.
5 gold! Like, like the
Yeah,
aggression
yeah.
comes back and it's like, dude, I get it. You had a hard day. Like,
Yeah, you
nobody
had a tough
approaches
day.
it like that. Instead, they're like, well, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
like, calm
yeah.
down,
So I'm going to try to latch on to that.
And we
part
will
of the
we will
conversation.
catch up. We will catch up on the chat. I promise, guys.
For sure. We're
Yeah.
deep in thought, deep in discussion with pizza behind us, so lots going on right now. I'm going to do my best to remember that part of the discussion in the
Okay.
sense of like the work life balance kind of thing.
Yeah.
I got an article about something that's tied to it. I'm gonna try to
cool.
remember it as much as I can, but let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to it, a lot of the stuff starts to like it kind of devolves into a devaluation of women. Now, a lot of the stuff, like from the article here, again, like when it comes down to human behavior, and they're talking about the devaluation of human, I don't agree with like what they're talking about because they're talking about the sexualization of women in video games, and so that would translate into real life. I don't think that's necessarily true. Just because when it comes down to like what real life is and what video games is, like you're talking about video game violence, right? Influencing people. That's not. There was a scientific study that was published, I think it was last year, about like the effects on video games and how it causes violent behavior, and it doesn't.
Right.
Like there's no correlation between violence and video games. I don't think there's a correlation between sexualization of women and sexualization in like real life. At no point would you be like, I'm gonna go pick up this horror in Grand Theft Auto and do the same thing in real life, unless you have some sort of mental health disorder.
Right.
Right.
I think it's like obviously there is and was a lot of like over-sexualization of women in video games.
There
right?
always is.
Always is, and always
even
probably
armor,
will be.
like in Skyrim.
Right.
Or like,
it's like
well,
you know
not
the
Skyrim,
differences,
I guess,
right?
but like you in certain games, like armor would be like just fucking armor plating on tits and
right. And like that was their highest level armor. It was like the most revealing, right? But anyway, so it's like that does exist, and it's not good. Like as we know, like with the status of society right now, just like it is in movies, just like it is in books, and like just all sort of cultural elements. There's always some sort of over sexualization of women, which creates like a negative portrayal, and it's just not good for anything, right? So video games, the way that I think it's a little different, but tough to kind of put your point on is like, yeah, you're right in the sense of like not translating that into real life. But there's still like there's a potential group of video gamers out there that that can't as easily disconnect that like digital life versus real life, and what I mean by that is like
let's take those people off the shelf, because those people, from what I would gather, and I think everyone else here would gather, is that those people are that's a spectrum of existence that is very small. Right. I don't think a majority of people do that. Like when an article headline says this, where does this come from? And it's from men. It's generalizing that all men, majority of men, have this sort of perspective, which I don't think is the case. And I think you can agree on that.
Yeah.
So this small section of men, if we remove them, like, do you think that would be the case?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some influence there.
Yeah.
Obsidian brings up a good point that, like, dudes in video games are generally pretty jacked.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, is
totally.
that sexualization or is it masculinity? It's like, well, it's kind of the same.
It's totally.
How do you find an attractive mate? You know what I mean? It's about how strong they are.
Visually, it's usually it's primitive.
It's like it's a total primitive. It's that whole like monkey part of our brains
where it's just like I have to get
somebody. Can you have babies with me?
Right.
Like there's
that's the men to the women, where it's like I need to have babies with you.
Yeah.
And then the women look to the men, where it's just like I need someone who's a protector and someone who's going to take care of me and stuff like that.
And also
total primitive nature. Yeah. Total primitive
strong
nature.
Genes.
Total. It's a very strange look at our primitive nature, and it's evolving, thankfully enough, right? Where it's like. Like men don't need women, women don't need men kind of thing, where it's like it's not a reliance as much as it used to be, which I think is a good thing, where it's just like the independence of everybody is great, right?
I think I don't know, it's kind of like it kind of teeters on the craziness, and I think this is just kind of like human nature, right? Where like whether you're a stoner, a jock, a video game person, like there is a spectrum of existence in which everybody exists, and there's a negative aspect to that spectrum that some people like indulge in too much.
Oh yeah.
And they sort of oversimplify it. So like being an individual is extremely hard. And some people go to great lengths to try to be an individual, but really they're just kind of copying everybody else.
Yeah, kind of like it's a very weird irony where it's like you're trying too hard to be an individual, and it's like that's not really the point.
Right.
It's
and
like
being
the
like
point,
a strong independent woman, like all that stuff, like these are traits that are like admirable. Like as a dude, like that's a person I'm marrying, you know what I mean? You're doing the same thing. Like they're strong, they know how to act independently, and like that's super important because they're more human being than I am this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm a label. Like I'm not gonna
exactly.
like really define
I'm a strong
myself
independent
like that,
woman.
right?
Like that's not what my girlfriend or my fiance says. You know what I mean? And
you
Elaine
know,
doesn't say that either.
No, and that's the thing. It's like now it's getting more to the point. So this is kind of an interesting slight turn in this conversation here, and I'll make sure we get back to it. But so I for the ceremony, I have been trying to find love passages that are very scientific because I'm not religious. So it's like I want to add that kind of element to it for my sister to read.
Yeah.
And there's some awesome stuff out there, just like Carl Sagan, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Different astrophysicists and poets and stuff like that are just taking this really cool, scientific approach to love, and it's a very interesting take because love is not a measurable thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not something you could calculate. It's not something that you could measure or whatever it is. It's just it is a part of our brain that happens, right?
Right.
And so, but at the same time, it's a fucking powerful thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's an incredibly powerful thing, right?
You're talking about a bond that is so powerful that it transcends every physicalness.
Yeah. And
that's what it feels
there's
like.
a passage that I think I'm going to go with that kind of talks about that, where it's like, it brings the weakest men to it brings kings to their knees and shit like that, where it's like this kind of love. So what's interesting is that that side of it, and it's love because it's genuine now, whereas it was a necessity because it was it was mating, it was survival, it was all this other stuff. And now it's evolving into the desire and the want for love, right? And it's not a necessity.
Right.
Hypothetically, it's not a necessity, but it's like we're almost making it feel like it is.
Well, yeah, because
saying?
society tells us what love is.
Right.
Right?
It's
the idea
of
love is I'll fix all my problems if I got this one person.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not... And if you guys want to... I feel like we could easily get into regurgitating what we said in our love episode.
We can.
So, if you guys want to check out the episode, !love in the chat, we'll bring you to that episode. And I know thank you so much for all the follows and the hosts and everything.
For sure.
We're just getting into conversation, and we will go back through chat.
And again, we're going to
touch upon everything that you guys are saying, because we have a Q&A section after we're done talking, so that we can do it, okay?
Dude, that's so weird how
I put that in there.
That's so crazy.
Because and all of our powerful episodes, I have a command, so I can refer people back to the previous
you're not
episodes.
doing that command, though.
No, I don't. They do it, and then it shows up.
Man, you guys, technology is weird. So,
sorry.
No, totally cool.
But so, we're talking about the idea of love. So, the love on a cinematic standpoint has this very, nuanced sort of thing, and there's a story and all this stuff, and sometimes it's even simpler than that. Well, not sometimes, most of the time it is. So getting swept up in the story element and the romanticism, that is definitely a part of being in love and being with the person you care about and all that, but it can easily be lost in translation with that. It could convolute the idea of what you think it is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And it totally does. And it's so I think it's going to be a while for us to be able to, as a society and as a culture, define love and kind of and be able to explain why we feel that way.
It's the word God. The word God.
Oh, same thing. Yeah, same
you
thing.
Can't you can define it, but
to an extent, but it's
it's just that word transcends the meaning of what
there is a quick side point. There is a very interesting, there's a podcast called Thinking Brain. Something Brain? Hold on. There's a podcast that I listen to that actually has an episode that is exactly Hidden Brain. Hidden Brain by NPR. Is NPR?
NPR is the shit.
Love you, NPR. So it's called Hidden Brain. It's an episode about God, and it's and it's basically how us as a species came to believing in God and religion and the creation of it. It's fucking fascinating.
Cool.
Long story short, it's
the story. I mean, it was one of. I guess I could talk about this later, but I had a conversation with a dude that stopped me. It was one of those guys handing out pamphlets. Yeah. And I was at a food place, and I was wearing a tie-dye t-shirt. So I don't know. I feel like he went to me because he knew.
This fucking guy needs help. He needs God.
He went to approach me, and then I had a literal conversation with him for about 10-15 minutes. Yeah. And it was the first time I ever had a conversation about religion with a religious person. Yeah. And explained how I believed things were, and what he was doing was not the truth, and some weird. It was
interesting.
It was a way of making him understand that what he was giving me was a primitive explanation for how things operate. Was the summation of it. Yeah, yeah. But it was the first time that the dude didn't I thought I played it out in my head, right?
Yeah,
so well, I'm gonna get offended, or I'm just gonna leave you alone and not talk to you about it. But it was the first time where it was it was almost like it was scripted. It felt like a movie. He slowly backed off, and it was weird. I saw this thing in his eyes.
You're just oh no.
Well, he made a mistake, is what he thought. I don't know.
I'm wrong this entire time.
I don't know if it was that, but that's what it this sort of light coming in. I never thought about this stuff that I'm doing about that, because
they never question it. That's the whole thing,
right? Dude. But the way I was talking,
such a whole discussion. Holy shit!
Because I'm wearing a tie-dye t-shirt, and the dude that was talking to me, I'm not gonna say he was stupid, but the way he was explaining things to me was very limited vocabulary wise, and he didn't really know how to comprehend anything. He was just wholeheartedly believing in something he didn't fully comprehend.
Oh yeah, like or
That makes
understand.
sense?
Yeah. You need to listen to this episode.
Okay, cool.
Hidden Brain
We'll
episode.
do. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, total side tangent, but
Yeah.
this Hidden Brain episode is awesome. Where
Yeah.
it's just like it literally just talks about the primitive nature of how religion developed. And it's very
Send it to
fucking
me
fascinating.
via text.
I'm gonna send it to you
Please,
right
yeah.
friggin' now. So but yeah.
But
so
getting
like,
back to the whole love thing. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
we're getting on tangents. This
Totally
is like
cool.
my
Hey, this is how it
my
happens,
favorite thing
man.
about the show. Yeah.
This is how. Oh, there's a fake news episode.
Tight.
So what were we talking about? Yeah, here we go.
We were talking about love.
Creating God. That's what it was.
Creating God. That's such a powerful 2 words.
So good.
Very powerful.
So we were talking about like this all stemmed from the article that you found about the kind of the masculinity of men in video games and
Yeah.
how it just kind of got into all of that, and then really trailing into like how we think of the brain. So I
sexualizing women through
Right.
video games. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
like anecdotes in this article that touch upon like the reason why men are this way when they play video games online, and it kind
Yeah.
of generalizes a lot. And I think like we can all agree, especially people that exist who come to Twitch for these conversations and come to these places for discussion. Like the main thing that they want to do is expand their minds.
blow their
Right.
minds up into a different couple pieces.
And the idea is that we act in groups, and we can all agree that like video games were marketed towards boys, and like that was like a perspective that was held for quite a bit. All the commercials are boys. There's no girls really in those like 80s commercials, all that stuff. But we've seen like an entire transformation of that, and there are so many girls that I know that have grown up playing video games in like boy households, quote unquote, and some of them are even in the video game industry, and they're fucking forced to be reckoned with.
They're not, like I think that the I mean, I'm sure there's obviously room for improvement, but like that percentage of women versus men playing video games now is definitely like really
Oh, it's
split down
blurring,
the middle,
and I really like that.
Oh, me
like,
too.
I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea. Like, there's never ever gonna be a point where I'm like, we need less women in video games. That's bullshit, dude. Anybody who says that is,
I would not be friends with you if you said that.
yeah,
Like,
I
it's
wouldn't be
like-
friends with me either.
Right.
I'd probably be one of those assholes that they talk about online. But like,
Yeah.
I think
Konky Dunk doesn't like women.
I think the cool thing about these articles about like just how they do this stuff is, I mean, it provokes conversation. I mean, it's obviously why we're talking about it right now.
So
but
much discussion happening in the chat.
dude, I'm excited to go back through and like read through what you guys are saying.
It's a dwarf planet. It's a dwarf planet, not a regular planet.
Well, they actually made
Dwarf
it a planet again, so it is a planet.
Officially?
Dwarf planet. It's a planet. Yeah. Look it up. I'm pretty sure they made it a planet.
I don't want to talk about that. That's another discussion.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I think just masculinity as a whole, like toxic masculinity as a whole, I think is obviously an entirely different discussion.
For sure.
I would like to actually do that as an entire episode. I think because like toxic masculinity is happening everywhere. It's very, very much in the political system right now. It's very much like front of mind for a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think it's awful because because it's just it is a stereotype of men that is again primitive, and it's not and it just like leads a lot of men down such a dark path of
it's a false
kind of
reality
of
false ego.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
it's just
totally
like
is.
it really. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's so ego driven. You can't. And I feel like maybe that's the problem that I have with with people talking about it is that we're not discussing ego or mental state with the people that are doing this stuff, or
It's generalization.
yeah, it's just a generalization. So like all men are rapists. Like there are people who are saying that. Like you have the potential, Lee, to be a rapist. It's like, no, that's not how that fucking works. Just because I have a dick and it can go inside something doesn't mean I'm going to rape people.
Right.
Like that's just not how it works. But when it comes down to I keep saying when it comes down to it. I just realized it's gonna be. We need a count for this. My shirt is slowly turning into pizza. Sorry, distracted.
Oh, it totally is.
But when it comes, oh my god, I am pizza.
As
I get farther
I would
away.
love to get to just like disappear into a bunch of pizza.
Oh, dude, it'd be hot.
Side note.
But anyway, dude, oh my gosh, I'm just thinking about
Stop.
like burning the roof of my mouth with my body.
Stop. I hate burning the roof of my mouth.
It's
like
the worst.
when pizza just like it's like when pizza like disrespects you. disobeys you.
The fondest memory I have is having a pepperoni DiGiorno and biting the tip, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And you bite the next one with the pepperoni on there, it's just lava underneath that shit.
So I hate it. It's like a lie.
Okay, sorry.
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah. So like Nano Goblin, just like a quick side point. So like for like beards as a sign of masculinity, like that complete. I get it all the time.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, you seem older and like wiser and like all this
stuff.
stuff.
It's associated with wisdom.
It's kind of associated
Which
that
is
because
a DNA
of, like,
thing, I think.
I think it is too, but it's
imagine,
like
hundreds
Kings,
and hundreds
Kings
of years.
did it and like whatever
Kings,
shit. But
philosophers.
But what's amazing though is that I like won't hesitate to be sensitive. I won't hesitate to be like non-mask or whatever you want to call it or something like that. So like this is kind of an image thing and it's on the outside. You got ads going. Oh fuck.
No.
It's like on the outside, but I don't let it define me. I don't let it make everyone assume that I'm some big husky fucking I love hunting and fucking breaking necks of deers and all this kind of stuff. Like I don't need that to be my definition, you know. So it's like and now at the same time, goddamn, we're not gonna let this go into a deep discussion. Cut me off like after this point.
You say a deep dish discussion?
Deep dish discussion.
Sorry.
Cut me off after this point.
Okay.
So I would have that perspective, right? Where I'm just like, okay, I have a beard, but I'm not going to be this image of masculinity that people think I am because I have a beard, right? And then I would get from this population of other men, you're a fucking pussy, man. You're a fucking pussy because you're you're just being sensitive and stuff like that, and that is the point of toxic masculinity. Where it's like you get this pressure
I mean, when it comes down to it, I think it's a natural want for men to be strong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
And so
it's important to explore all aspects of your humanity because if you limit yourself to a certain spectrum, you're living literally less than what you could be. You are experiencing less.
Yeah, you're limiting your potential.
Right.
You know?
Right. And because you're also not willing to when you explore those different parts of your personality, what you're doing is learning how to empathize with other people who feel or have felt that way.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So those people that like, I think when it comes down to it, like the toxic masculinity, it's based on fear. Because if they were to feel those things, they would be weak, and you can't be weak in a.
I feel strong.
Right.
I love my ability to be sensitive, my ability to be emotional. Like I love that because I get to explore those other elements of myself and not fucking bury the stuff down that I know is already there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's
we are a product of our environment to a certain degree because you can do that very easily. I am the complete opposite.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm gonna get you to cry one of these days. I will get you.
I'm not saying I haven't cried, but there is definitely like because of growing up in the household that I did grow up in. It was like, you know, stop being a bitch, like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, pick yourself up by your bootstraps and go. So like, there's that layer of like, I just need to do this because I'm a man.
Yeah.
I am a man. Like, it's there's this weird underlying layer. So in moments where like, you know, for example, watching a show and it has to hit me really hard, and I'll be like on the verge of tears. Yeah. But there's this like thing in the back of my head that's like, no.
Yeah. Don't you fucking cry.
You fucking cry. Yeah, exactly. And it's not that intense, but what I'm saying is like there is definitely like a condition for us to be pushed into the you need to be strong right now, dude. And like, yeah, of course. I think like
I just don't think it's needed anymore. It's not necessary.
I think it is to a certain degree.
Well, what I'm saying is like the need for the male population to be masculine.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like to be the masculine one. Yeah. Like again, it is entirely primitive. Like you guys are raised yourself from bootstraps.
But we're not like we're not transcendent. Like we haven't transcended our physical forms yet. So the reason
once we transition into digital,
then that
we
stuff
transition
won't
all
be
that kind of
needed.
stuff.
That's what I mean, though.
Your personality can be put into a robot. Like,
right.
Who cares?
Well, like,
right?
I mean, and I'm not trying to be a traditionalist, but I'm just pointing out the fact that when it comes down to like the necessary progress that the human race needs, there needs to be a strong household, and the strong household includes women and men. But like when it
Right.
comes down to the levels of like,
Now, why do you have? No, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So why do you need to be strong though?
it comes down to defending.
Defending
right.
against the aggressor, right?
Right, exactly. Which
Against
would be
another
other
person
men,
who's strong, right?
Or maybe another person. I mean, it doesn't have to be a man, but
Right.
like the idea behind like the personality traits of like masculine and feminine, like there are traditional, not traditional, but like native, meaning like not, it doesn't necessarily need to be up to the environment.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
part of having a lot of testosterone.
Yeah.
Versus
And
having
that's
a lot of estrogen. Because
yeah.
those chemicals affect how you are as a person.
Right.
You're producing a lot of testosterone. You might be more aggressive. Like there's a chance of that sort of thing.
There's some of it naturally that kind of comes to be, but I think just
Yeah.
developmentally, like it'll also because yeah, if you're beaten like emotionally, verbally, or whatever it is as a kid growing up, that you have to be masculine.
You want to
those
defend
triggers,
yourself.
those triggers are going to go off about your testosterone. But
Yeah.
what I was going to
Endorphin
mention,
rush, adrenaline, yeah.
what I was going to mention is like you know, the need to be strong is because there's someone else that you feel is out there stronger than you are.
Yeah,
in
or
the sense
thing.
of an
It could
aggressor,
be like
right?
a animal. I mean, like
Well, so but like
We're
but
not
my
a
point
hunter-gatherer
is wait, that's
species
that's what
anymore.
I'm saying is like that's my point is that we don't need to fight to survive, right? I can go and get food. I can buy food off the shelf, right? I don't have to hunt it, right? Water's like easily accessible for me. Not everywhere we understand, but
Right.
like so my point is like the more that there are men that out there that can get in touch with that kind of sensitive side and that little more emotional side, less masculine side, the less people that you have that are aggressors, the less people that you have aggressors, the less people that you have to feel like you have to defend yourself against the, you know. So it's like this weird cycle that I think is going to get into this point where everyone is like, I'm talking equal. I'm talking like same.
I mean,
kind
you're
of
talking about like
perspective.
super far in the future, where like
And then that's what I meant.
physical form.
But like, but
there's
well,
no
not
way
even that. Not even that. It's a
there's
complete
no way,
societal thing.
There's no way, because like society.
I think a total societal thing.
I don't think like you can. I think what you can do is have a strong. You could be strong physically and mentally in the sense of like exploring your emotions and all that fun stuff. There's nothing wrong with being a sensitive person.
Sure.
But there are certain points where like you have to be strong in order to be successful. Like let's say in like a relationship.
Well, now that's a different type of strong though. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes
like
to
that's an emotion. That's in touch with
the
your
strength
emotions.
I'm talking
oh yeah.
about. So like the strength when it takes to being in a relationship, and let's take it back to like just the most primitive aspects of being in a relationship. So what is necessary? You need to be physically strong, and you need to be emotionally strong in order to support the tribe. Correct? Those traits, I feel like, are so ingrained in our DNA that they can't be worked out unless you remove the human body entirely, or like there's some weird genetic transformation over like a million years, billion years, or whatever.
I think it's a lot sooner than you're giving it credit though.
I don't think so, because like human beings haven't changed much over the course of like
so
societally we have, but not like in terms of DNA and what's in there.
And that's in the DNA.
Because like your genes, because like when it comes down to attractiveness and being a male, like the being strong is a trait that most, if not all, females are looking for. Whether it's mentally, physically, whatever, like there needs to be strength in that. Without strength, you are not. I know this could be causing like a fuckload of sparks and shit in the chat.
Get ready.
But like,
get ready.
You will be less attractive to females. And like when
if you're not as strong, like emotionally strong,
emotionally, physically, like there needs to be some form of strength provided. Not even if it's like financial strength. That's got some sort of attribute to strength. I guess when I say strength, you thought like physical, like defense.
Well, yeah, like I think
out,
of when you say strength, I'm thinking like dominance in that kind
that's
of
how
thing,
it
where
used
it's
to
like,
be. But now it's like
really,
this like sort of. I guess
here's my
it's now like a
connection,
dynamic thing. But go ahead.
I have a connection to it. So it's like what I'm saying in the sense of like a societal shift to a degree is like, I mean, you could look back in our own history. And just see that progression already. So it's like look back at, like men during World War One, World War II, the Vietnam War, like all this other stuff where you had to go to war. Yeah. Like if you and I would have been in war, like either been dead or fighting for America, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so that was your life as a man.
Yeah.
Like to defend your country, to fight, to kill. You know what I'm talking about? So it's
you
like
had to do it.
So you had to do it. So that, of
No
course,
choice. You have
that
to
was
be
a
strength.
exactly, and that was a shockwave around our society of like that's what you're supposed to be. All the advertisements for war, it's like yes, you're fighting for America. This is what all men are supposed to be doing, and then women are supposed to stay home and cook and take care of the family, right?
Right.
So over that course, you have World War II, you have this other progression, you have the 60s, you have the 70s, you have like the female liberation, eras and stuff like that, that just shifted society into a way where it was more of that equality part of it.
Yeah.
And then it was also the fact that men don't need to be masculine, don't need to be as masculine. So what I'm saying is that like, that is going to keep going. Like that trend is going to keep going.
Be like a Well, I disagree.
I can almost guarantee that this is going to happen.
Well,
it's
so
like,
what would man look like physically?
Like men can be like whatever they want to be, but it's like
because the word
the
masculine,
way that I live,
I think maybe is like maybe it's a little bit more nuanced, is what you would say.
Yeah,
so
man,
instead of like
yeah.
the traditional terms of masculine, we're talking about a nuanced term of being masculine, where strength is more than just being physically strong and dominating others.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strength in. Well, I feel like the meaning is so left up to interpretation, because when you if we were to look it up right now, here, go ahead.
Yeah.
You had a thought that you just snapped at.
So one of the thoughts of it is almost what so if you take masculinity out of it, right? If you take masculinity and femininity.
So here it is. So having qualities or appearance traditionally associated with men, especially strength and aggressiveness.
Right.
Now, aggressiveness is normally taken as like a negative thing, but you can be aggressive in your pursuit.
Oh yeah, you're aggressive
of doing something.
So this is where
which is tradition.
I
don't think that to me that definition won't change.
Right. And it probably it won't. It historically won't. It can't.
Yeah.
Because we need to know what masculinity always was in order to understand it for the future, right?
Right.
So so my thing is take masculinity and femininity out of it, right? Yeah. So what are you? You're a contributor to society and the progression of the human race.
Right.
Right. So my
contribution to your fellow man.
Yeah, exactly. Contribution to your fellow person, the person that's next to you, everything, right?
To the human race. That's a lot better. That's a lot
human
for
race,
everyone,
right?
Yeah.
So and I mean that even more specifically, transcending races, right? So we're just like you are the human race, right? So the future, the trend of that masculinity and femininity kind of like dying down would then be where everyone, like the way that you are, I don't want to say judged, but the way that you are perceived in society is your contribution to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
that's
it's like
that's how it should be doing. That's how
it should be like
done.
that now.
Right
but
now, it's like we're still trying
to
figure this shit out.
You get caught up in your masculinity. You get caught up in like your role in society.
Yeah.
And it's like and like right now, it's like we're all caught up in the fact that like I have to be this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Instead of like looking at the contribution you're bringing.
Yeah, so that's the future that I would love to see.
Even that's another thing. Like that variable.
No, IQ is something different in my opinion. Like where it's just like if you are aggressive in heightening your IQ, learning about the world, like that, and then you are able to contribute something back into society.
Some people, like for example, can't like heighten their IQ, and that's the dispossessed.
They can't, but they still can take take this for example, right?
Right.
Take the show for example. Like you and I don't have. I don't remember the last time I took an IQ test, but like I don't think I'm smart.
Take one.
Right?
Neither am I. Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm.
Neither of us
are
experts.
Guy.
We're just having a conversation.
So because I came to grips with that for a while. Like I was a science kid when I was younger, but the ADD and the ADHD kind of just like really was like pushing me back to a point where I couldn't just be on the trend of learning, right? You know what I mean? I couldn't get on the learning train, you know? So what I did is like, all right, I got to make it up somewhere else, you know? So my contribution to society is encouraging others to be passionate about things and to be excited about the world, to be an advocate, be curious, like all these other things.
Be humble about how you're going about learning things.
You know what I mean? So like that is who I carry myself as.
Yeah.
Doesn't have I do not, I don't work out. I don't feel like I'm tough.
You work out now.
I mean, I'm starting to because I want to be healthy. That's a little different thing.
Yeah.
But so
you want to be strong?
I want, not really. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's not strong, right?
You want to be healthy.
I don't want. I want to be healthy.
So when I say strong,
right?
So strong is healthy.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like they're synonymous words. It's an all-encompassing word. Strong isn't necessarily like, I want to be jacked, I want to be fucking tearing people's heads off.
Let's rock hard abs. Those guys that just like fucking,
they're
God,
crazy. They
out.
can't even turn around and shit.
Freaks
like,
me
how
out.
do you help anyone?
And so exactly. And so now, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, when it comes
I'm so
down,
excited right now.
No, you're good, because this is very stimulating.
Oh, man.
Right? So when it comes down to like how we think about this stuff, I think the important thing is like when we're talking about this, we need to approach it in a nuanced way, in untraditionally the way it's normally thought about.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I say the word strong, your default position is like those fucking hulked out dudes like ready to fucking, hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
So
What's up, bro?
killer.
You know what I mean? Like those, that's not what strong is. That is an inexperienced form of strength.
Yeah.
Because you are focusing on one attribute of strength. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like a fucking RPG character.
You're
you
just
got-
like you're the tank.
You are
You know what I
exactly.
mean? And like you
Well, you can
have
be
to
smart
balance in
tank.
other areas, right?
Yeah,
A lot of
exactly.
those RPGs, it's like you're either really strong and not like strategic,
stupid, yeah.
or you're really strategic and not strong. So it's like there's a balance to it where you have to trade it off.
Yeah, and life's a lot more nuanced than that. So like, what would you like? How would you go about?
Oh my god.
How would you go about? This is so cool. This is my brain right now.
No, this is
my
crazy.
brain. So how would you go about like thinking about, or not thinking about that? How would you go? Why am I saying how would
This
you go
is the
about?
masculinity episode, by the way. Like
Yeah,
I think
for
we've
sure.
I kind of already gotten to
So,
the thick of it.
so when it comes down to like strength, I think we can all agree that like the definition, of course, is being strong in a specific attribute.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you
but
just
it's not
have to
physical.
define it.
It transcends what I think is physical. I think it's like an all-encompassing. If you are strong in this, you are.
There are other words out there for it. Like I think like if you just say strength, you got to define it a little bit more than that. You know.
Yeah.
Because it is a broad spectrum.
Well,
of
if I say I want to be a
terminology.
strong human being, what does that mean?
Right, and that could be a 1,000 different things, you know.
Right.
So like, there's a word what we're
If I
looking
want to be a
for.
strong man, it sounds like
You think this? You think
yeah. But
muscles.
if I say strong
right?
human being, you're like, is that strong?
What? Is it like strong in your
Yeah.
eyes, or
I guess what I'm
you have
saying is
strong
like
teeth?
the idea is that you should be figuring out which
Right.
attribute points you should be putting into what.
And that's the encompassing element of it, where it's just like, the masculinity side of things is gone. We don't need it. It's not a part of our survival anymore.
Right.
What is a part of our survival now is our contribution to society, the progression of the future of our human race,
Your
of
own
our
health.
planet, and this is. You want to know full circle shit?
Yeah.
This is why I love fucking space. This is why I love like everything outside the planet, is because that and Carl Sagan, fucking one of my goddamn heroes, right?
Right.
The pale blue dot speech. Like if you have not heard that, you're missing out, because he basically is just like so long story short. Okay, long story short.
Everything you've ever known.
Right. So if you haven't seen the pale blue dot video, look it up on YouTube. I guarantee you'll be inspired. So there's this picture, the first picture that was like the furthest picture of Earth that's ever been taken.
Right.
It was a speck in a ray of light.
I know, dude. You can tell me.
I know. I'm kind of talking here.
Oh,
anyway.
gotcha.
So it was a speck in the ray of light that was found, and it was Earth, right? And so Carl Sagan was like, "That's everything ever that we know.
Everything you've ever known.
Everything you've ever known, right? And you have
every
this.
person you've ever met.
You have this. You have the tiny little piece of salt on this pizza. If there's salt on this pizza, you
There's
get what
for
I'm
sure
saying?
salt on the pizza. Yeah.
So you got a tiny little speck on something so vast, right? Like the universe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we are meant for something more than this, right? So what that's going to take is unification. It's going to take common grounds. It's going to take progression. It's going to take self-development. It's going to take all of that, right?
Responsibility,
And so
yeah.
every single person has to find a way, in whatever sense of the word, to be a contributor to the future of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the faster that we all come to
Well, I don't
conclusion,
know.
you know what I mean?
See, that's a really like big thing.
And dude, I think big. I think fucking huge.
Yeah.
I think super huge, because I'm not trying to toot my own horn here or anything like that, but it's like, but it takes that extreme to try to think of what might be possible.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think like when it comes down to it, I think like the dream is like, you know,
Dream
everybody
it.
like doing it. I don't know. When it comes down to like bettering yourself and all that, there are better ways to go about it than Well, at least from what I experienced. But anyway, go ahead.
But I think it's like, I mean, you look at this, right?
Yeah.
It's like it like this is in my hand, right? And it does a billion different things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Was thought up by some guy, two guys that like, well, kind of one guy. Anyway, long story short, right? So it's like people had to think of this.
Yeah.
Right? That was a contribution to society, and it shifted us like crazy. Like right now, it's understandably in a negative light because of how much we're doing this.
Yeah.
However,
it's a balance.
They're finding the lows of the lows to change and progress that technology, right? They're coming up with software to make you not look at your screen anymore, or not as much, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's a progression of something. But again, the stuff that this has done for society is incredible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so that's like my point is like, whatever you can do, even if it's like so slight that might make an impact on somebody else, another human being, like contribute.
So what would you say? What would you say
you
to
know?
those people who?
Sorry to get so excited about.
No,
this,
you're
but
good.
it's
You're
like,
good.
yeah.
This is actually like a perfect fucking tie-in to like what I wanted to talk about earlier.
Yeah.
So for those people who are so down and out, like, and can't contribute to, who can't contribute to society, like how would they start? And I think I have like the perspective on it.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
This perspective again comes from Jordan Peterson, who's an awesome psychologist.
Yeah.
And the idea is that sometimes we set the bar too high. And that's it. Like, we've always been told, you know, set that fucking bar up, like climb the fuck up there. They don't really tell you how the steps do it. So like, let's say we're at our lowest low. Like, what's the smallest thing you can do to be better than what you were yesterday? And that's the bar. The bar is to be better or slightly better than what you were yesterday.
Yeah.
How do you do that? You fucking make your bed.
Yeah.
First thing, make your bed. Cool. Room. Okay, cool. Okay, well, what else can I do? Okay, cool. Let's go step by step on the lowest bar we can possibly go. Let's do some physical stuff. Sure. Okay, let's build some strength up or get myself back into shape slowly but surely. It's like lifting weights. You don't want to go lifting 150 pounds and fucking yourself up. You go point by point by point.
Yeah.
Maybe not enough to be sore or whatever. And then when you start like bettering yourself, the environment you're in, the relationships you're in, then you can start affecting everyone else.
You carry
and
yourself.
Society.
Yeah,
carry yourself.
This worked for me, man. Like this got me happy, and like let me tell you about this.
Yeah,
you know?
it's all about
like,
those small things. Because like I don't know, it's really easy to. It's all. This kind of goes back to like when I was having a tough time. I thought I was above, like making my own bed and cleaning a mess. Like, oh, I don't need to waste time doing that.
Right.
And it's like
you think you don't have enough time to do that.
Right.
You know, and it's like, and you think about it objectively, and it's like, it's making a fucking bed.
Yeah.
You want to know a fun fact about that, actually?
Minutes.
Like,
go ahead,
so the reason why the military, when you're in the military, you make your bed every morning, like perfectly, is because that is what makes you feel accomplished at the very start of the day. The very, very start of the day. I started doing that too. You start making your bed, and you're like, fuck yeah, I made my bed. Yeah. And then you're just going out throughout your day. It's like I can do whatever I want to do. You know, and it's like
I did
so that's why they do it.
It sounds stupid, but it's like
it's
like a bare minimum thing. A bare minimum, but like
that's
again, setting the bar low enough for you to feel like you're accomplishing things.
And it's exactly, and it's like
what ends up happening is like when you set the bar too high, you're focused so much on the bar that's high up there that everything else that's lower isn't worth your time.
Right, and which is just like
not true.
Yeah,
you have
totally
to start taking responsibility and discipline for like your day-to-day life.
Right.
And hey, you can slip up and fuck up on certain days and like do the bare minimum.
Accept your failures, man.
But
failure, the best
it's not even like accepting failure, but just be better than what you were yesterday.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, look at what did you do yesterday, and how can you be better today?
Exactly.
And it doesn't need to be crazy.
And it doesn't need to be shunning yourself from yesterday.
Yeah, you don't.
It's not like I didn't do this yesterday,
already happened.
So that's right. It's literally in the past.
You're not like you can't change it. There's no way to go back there and like change any of it.
So all that stuff. It's like I'm trying to live that now.
Yeah.
And it's like the time. Like there was times where. Oh, get this, right? So, like, there were times where I got, like, pissed with myself because I was bored.
Yeah.
I would, or there would be a day I didn't do anything, right? Now, I got on myself for that. Because for me, at least at that time, I was like, I don't want that. I don't want to spend a day doing literally nothing. Sitting and watch TV all day. I don't want to do that, right? So I just
Those
slowly
are the
but
same
surely.
days you don't go to bed early. Or don't go to bed easily.
Exactly, right? And so like I didn't even look at the like how that affected me necessarily. I was just like, no, I want to try something different, right?
Right.
So slowly, just as you're saying, it's like you start like by those little increments. Started making my bed, right? Started, cleaning up some stuff, like cleaning the apartment, doing these little things, getting to stuff that I kind of put off for a while, like all these like little tiny details.
Yeah.
And then you get into this rhythm of doing that all the time.
Right.
Where they seem like nothing.
Right.
And then you're looking bigger picture, and then you're like, I can do this because look what I just did.
Yeah, I did this stuff already.
So like everything is just out of the way.
And then you have this like sort of predictable nature where it's like, I've done this before.
I got this. Like I have the capabilities to be better than this.
And I'm not above doing this.
Right.
This is not. It's not about that. Like you have to. Those parts of yourself, like those need to burn off and die.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
those. And sometimes they go screaming. Like
Yeah.
They really.
They go without a fight, and that's the thing is like, and then that is where you get more of a satisfaction out of accomplishing something.
Yeah.
Because especially if you fought so hard to get there, that's where you like when you finish that line, like you're just like wave of emotion, wave of like relief, wave of just like satisfaction, and the impact of something like that, and like so I'm looking the voice acting stuff. Like when I get there, I'm gonna fucking just like
go for it.
I'm gonna cry because I'm sensitive. And
and
I'm not as mad.
And get paid.
I'm just gonna be like,
it'll be on script.
I did it. Can be sensitive. Man, that's a discussion.
Yeah, dudes.
Yeah, this is a longer show, hour and a half show. We usually do like an hour show, but I think that is a good.
That was a good summation.
That was a great discussion,
and it came like back perfectly, I think.
Really, and it all took that kind of like men masculinity in video games kind of thing to really get us down that path. But so Steve is going to take a second to kind of go back in these discussions because you guys were killer as far as just keeping up with the chat and everything like that.
Obsidian Fire says, it's up to you as an individual to not be that stereotypical toxic gamer and show some love to those you play games with.
Touch your butt accidentally.
Starts with you. That's right. I agree, Obsidian. Well said. We talking about the Polygon article claiming 9 out of 10 male gamers are toxic? Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Okay. Show me the data, Josh says, with the angry face. You can't generalize an entire gender as a whole based upon some unpleasant experiences. That's not fair.
It's just,
agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's the same guys that are like, fuck women, man. They're all fucking vampires, bro. Like,
do people say that?
They're
all vampires?
Well, like there's like
I know.
The term is usually like neckbeards, like nice guys, like you don't want to fuck me because I was nice to you. It's
stereotyping in the whole means
weird,
of it.
yeah.
So talked about pizza. There's some
the
pizza in there.
Burning. It's ridiculous. I write articles for companies too, and whoever wrote that is clearly basing your content off of a tiny sample. Yeah, exactly. Like when you publish an article like this, you have an idea. You're trying to garner attention, definitely, and it's not. I don't think it's bad attention, but it can definitely be that way. Luckily, you guys had 2 people who are pretty, I would say, open to talking about literally almost anything.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that I'd be uncomfortable talking about with or being curious about and kind of extrapolating upon.
Like I would have a discussion with somebody about what the inside of a butthole looks like. Like most people would kind of be uncomfortable talking about that, but I would be curious. What is the inside of a butthole?
I mean, you can
like?
just Google it.
I know you can Google it. I don't want to Google it. I'd rather just talk about it.
You'd rather talk.
I don't want to see it.
I just imagine it's like a pink spherical tube that continuously goes and.
Oh boy.
KonkyTalks64 Obsidian Fire nailed it above. Dudes are misrepresented just as much. Every game guy is Gerard Butler meets Arnold Schwarzenegger circa 1988.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Nano Goblin, thank you for the follow, dude. And thanks for the contribution to the chat.
All of you guys, just like super killer.
All you guys are fucking awesome.
There was a point. We had this show where we were struggling to get people to talk in the chat. Struggling. Mm-hmm. We were just like, let's get some feedback, let's get some discussion and all that kind of stuff. And now here we are. We have to scroll back.
I love it.
To catch up.
You guys are just sheep with your H&M era pastel.
Because of you cutie booties.
All I wear is clothing from Hot Topic because I'm my own person. Me in high school. That was me too, Obsidian. You went to Hot Topic, right?
Oh, dude, yeah.
That was like
I bought the punk rock t-shirts. I bought the wristbands.
That was the place for
you remember
band
the band
t-shirts?
AFI?
Yeah, of course.
Dude, I had an AFI sweat wristband.
Gay. I'm sorry.
Dude, did you not just hear all of the hour-long discussion that we just had about this?
I'm sorry, guys. That was just like, I feel like
Perfect
like
timing.
Beyonce would say that too.
No, she wouldn't. She'd be like,
Dude,
Yeah,
Beyonce's
man.
in the chat, man.
yeah, man.
Independence as an importance factor is a great thing, but as a society and a species, humanity survives in groups. For instance, on Twitch, we are all independent, but we come together as a group in the general sense.
That's true.
You're correct.
That's true.
It's hard to find a balance between being your own person and not alienating yourself too much from society. I agree.
Agreed, yeah.
Because you can
Dude,
conflict
discover.
with a lot of... You could be the... Like, human beings naturally put things in a hierarchical... Hierarchical? Hierarchical.
You can say that word without
Hierarchical.
touching your teeth together.
Hierarchy. Hierarchical structure. I can't say
Continue
it. I'm not
the
a
point.
smart person. It's they put it in a hierarchy like on purpose because you need to have like certain goals. Some people put themselves above others based on their perspective, and it just like fucking hurts them in the end. Yeah, humans can't survive on their own. We just can't. We're super social. That's why introverts usually battle things like depression and anxiety. It's not natural in that sense. Agreed. Josh, thanks for being here and being a mod. I love you. Being in love doesn't complete you as a person. It's an addition to what you already have in life. If you're looking for love to solve all your problems, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And not only disappointed, but alone or
Find
broken up
love
with,
in different
divorced.
ways. Love other shit, not
Love
just
yourself.
each other.
Love and understand yourself first.
I love space, and it makes me very happy.
It's not just a big black hole for you to...
Nope.
No, just kidding.
Nope.
Don't abuse
vast.
space, all right, bro?
Big bastard thing.
What's a new Puzzcat? Whoa, wow. Okay, well, I don't know what that
Moving
means.
on.
What's Gucci, bro? That's just
We're just
people
going to
asking.
start a set of rules how society... Okay, yeah, so Nano Goblin. Religion is initially started as a set of rules of how society operated and governed and how to interact with individuals, which over hundreds of years has morphed and changed to match current ideologies. Very true, and that's what that episode actually talks about a little bit, that Hidden Brain episode. It's just basically like it was something that was created to basically control society. It's fucked up. So fucked up. Very interesting.
I'm a
very
Christian.
interesting.
I do both. So am I. I just don't quote the Bible or follow it. I mean, I follow it to some extent, but not fully. Konky's shirt is slowly turning into pizza. Just give all female video game characters big floppy dongs. Problem solved. Josh.
That would probably bring...
It's been a planet for okay. Top Fox. Love you guys, but I want that pizza in my belly. Is he still here? Dan?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, buddy.
Dan, you're so handsome.
Thanks, Mish. Thanks for coming.
I still need to meet your
cozy
puppy.
boy.
Pluto can't clear the neighborhood through, though. Neither can other planets like Venus, but it hasn't been demoted, so I don't know. I mean Neptune, not Venus. I don't know what that means. For instance, beards are viewed as a sign of masculinity, hence why we are conditioned to try to grow them in high school when masculinity... We talked about that. What are your thoughts on religion? I think religion was created to understand something that we didn't have an understanding of, and that's just the simple thing. And you needed to create rules during certain times, like don't eat shellfish on Sundays because maybe that was the day that people were flushing their shit down the river or something.
That could be a whole episode.
I mean, we could have a whole one. I mean, the whole thing to me is that I think that God and the universe are the same word. The reason why we came up with the word universe now is because we know about the universe, right?
Or
So
a
it's just-
scientific term for it. And
Yeah,
of
and
like
it's easy to
philosophical-
associate it with like oh, that's a man in the sky, but like that's not. It's not the. I don't think it's a. I think it's a word that is beyond knowing. Like your God is too small is the word that I think of. When I think of like religion and the word God, I think that God is way more powerful because it's not a. I don't associate it with a religion anymore. Does that make sense?
It is, but yes, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Men have to act a certain way to be considered a real man. Yep. Yeah, fuck that. Yep. Okay. I'm a male special ed teacher. I was told by my principal that a parent didn't want me alone in the room with their child. Basically treated me like an animal. Yeah, because they all men can rape. At any point, like there's just gonna be a point where like we're all gonna rape people.
You just said
That's
the
not-
opposite earlier. You
I'm
just
being
said the
sarcastic.
opposite earlier.
I'm being sarcastic.
Steve, that's the point.
I'm being sarcastic. God damn it.
Garf.
It's not true. We would never do that.
It's not true.
Is it possible?
It's impossible.
Obsidian Fire. Josh, I doubt that really has anything to do with you. It's more of that parents' insecurities and experiences than anything you've done.
Dude,
I would try and not take it personally. Ooh, fuck. Obsidian Fire with the hot knowledge, just like the pizza behind us. We are evolving to listen to our emotions more so, but we still have those genetic predispositions towards certain things. I agree, Nano Goblin, and we did talk about that. Cool. I can make him cry. You can make me cry, probably. You'll cry if you ever get a kidney stone, for sure. Men have to act this way, but if they actually act that way, they get guilt tripped for being a douchebag. Explain. Yeah. Men have to act this way? I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that if anybody guilt trips you into acting a certain way, you shouldn't be with that person.
You shouldn't let it guilt
however,
trip you
I
into
have
it.
been in, a fan, like growing up, that was the situation and I didn't really have a choice. So like it can warp your perspective, and that's where therapy is really useful, or a strong group of friends. My life is a Hallmark story. I can make you cry. Give me 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I can make myself cry. I can make you cry. Give me 5 minutes, boy.
Lots of crying.
Why are you guys fighting again? Okay, good. You stopped. That was quick. No, I'm just kidding. Goddamn genetically modified milk, lol, and all them hormones. What? Because you are a guy, you're not allowed to cry. That's a dope rhyme. It probably is a rhyme somewhere.
Probably someone spitting hot fire like that. Let's head to the bottom and try to see if we can open it up for like some Q&A and stuff. There's a lot to get through, which again we like really appreciate everyone.
Oh, Biff is here. What up, dude? Mel. Hey. Wait, is Biff here?
So many good peoples.
There's a lot of good
How
people
do we know
here.
how many people are in? The number's not up there.
I removed the number because
Really?
it scares me. Like if I didn't know I had like 100 people in here earlier. It just like somebody was like, dude, you have 100 and blah, blah, blah people. And I was like, yeah, right. Because I don't know. I sincerely don't know. Somebody could just be telling me that.
Okay.
Switch, Jay. Wait, you are experts? What the fuck am I doing here? Okay. Let's get into Q&A. There was a lot in here. What questions do you guys have for us?
Yes.
That maybe we didn't answer or whatever.
Questions
Quinn,
that we
thanks for the
can try
hosting.
our best to answer. Again, with
Jordan
the
Gusta
understanding that
getting
we
in
are
here
not,
a little late. That's all right, boy.
We are not experts in.
We were talking about
these.
masculinity, pizza, our past 2 weeks.
Mars Lake.
Mars's water.
Mars got water on it.
How do you remove the number? The number gives me anxiety. Please instruct me on how to remove the number. I can do it after the stream.
There are
Just shoot me
people
a
struggling.
DM. Shoot me a DM on Discord, buddy.
There are people struggling to get numbers.
Yeah, if you don't know the numbers, you'll be fine. You can just find out afterward in the stream summary on your dashboard.
Okay.
Well, you should know the numbers, right? But it's like, do you look at the numbers all day, or do you look at the numbers after you're finished?
All day.
Well, that's different. We're not selling anything.
All day.
Is depression genetic, or is it a product of our environment?
Product of your environment. I think it's a product of your
both.
environment.
It can be both.
I think more of a product of your environment.
I feel like if your ancestors were depressed and you grew up in a depressed situation, I mean, environment is a big one, but like you could be, there's definitely a spectrum of individuals who don't produce enough chemicals in their brain, right? That can exist. I don't think that's a majority of what's going on. I think that more than 90% of the time you have a terrible situation that you haven't unpacked yet or are aware is going on, that you should seek therapy or talk to somebody with. But again, we're not experts. This is just opinion. Do not look at the numbers during the stream. The numbers will haunt your dreams. No, not really. I'm totally serious and also joking right now at the same time. Okay, just shoot me a DM, dude, if you want.
Dick message.
How will you help Etwart get partnered? Etwart, because he's a powerful individual, will get partnered on his own. But right now, as a team, we have a partner push that we're doing. So we selected... I guess I shouldn't disclose it, but essentially, like, we are pushing for people to get partnered within our own team, and then once those people get partnered, we will push for the next person. Switch says, so you mentioned talking to a very Christian man and a kind of opening their eyes to thinking deeper about things. Do you have any kind of go-to theorems or arguments that you go to when you are trying to get them to think deeper about religion? Not really, no. It was all on the fly. And to be honest, I was a little under the influence of cannabis, so it just kind of happened.
There's not like a go-to necessarily, but there's like, I think you have to speak to life experience and you have to ask, ask the question as to why they believe maybe what they believe in, like kind of, because
That never came up.
That's a hard question to ask.
I mean,
I'm not saying that has to necessarily,
gotcha,
but
gotcha. Okay.
but sometimes that can lead into the discussion.
Yeah.
But I think what always happens is that there's always kind of like
I'm never
this.
seeking to prove anybody wrong or like.
I would always be curious as to is the discussion humanely and all this other stuff where it's like it's not.
Is it a discussion or an argument?
It should be more of a discussion and not an argument. That's the point.
Because it can easily teeter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when it comes down to these conversations, it's not so much the content. I think being prepared is one thing, but you're not going to. Facts don't work. Let's just say that. Nothing I talked about during that conversation was facts. It was simply just stating what he knew was true and what I knew was true. So, truth, again, like being an ambiguous term, we know what he thought came from. We know the perspective he was carrying, where it came from, because of the materials he was trying to give me. Mm-hmm. And that's, I guess, how the conversation happened. Mm-hmm. And then when it came down to, when he gave me truth, his definition of truth and my definition of truth are two different things. When I said that, he said, "What do you mean by that?"
Yeah.
And then that's when it spurred into a discussion. I was like, well, you're basing your beliefs and perspective off of primarily a book that was written a long time ago when we didn't understand, what our cosmic environment looks like, how the planets are, like how any of this works. And that's all well and fine because they didn't know back then. So I'm not negating the fact that these stories didn't exist, Jesus wasn't real, all of these things could very well be true. Good. But when it comes down to life lessons and how the
your
world
perception
works,
of the Bible, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
You cannot take that as truth because when it comes down to, the conversation of, how do you know how to be a good human being? How do you become moral with this? Well, it's these are societal rules, and it's simple. If I do something bad, society does not want me involved. I will die.
Yeah.
Let's just take it back to the tribal terms, that sort of thing.
Right.
I get kicked out of the tribe, I will die by myself, or I will fend for myself and become an outcast. You can't exist like that.
Yeah.
That's not how we exist on a societal plane. Everybody gets themselves into groups, they build themselves into a tribe, and that's how you survive, through love and understanding and compassion. All of these things are basic human instincts that just exist, and they don't necessarily need a story behind them to exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There'll be a whole conversation.
Yeah.
A whole conversation in that. Because there's another one too. Christopher, why do some religions have such a hard time accepting out of the box ways of life? I think it just literally gets down to how long, this stuff was ingrained in our culture. When a lot of it began was that it just became such a second nature. And it's think about the last thing that you were the most confident in the answer.
Yeah.
Right? The most confident in the answer because you could, you could describe it all. You could explain everything. It's the same kind of thing. If someone was telling you, no, you're wrong.
It's
right? It's and then you'd have to be hold on, no, man, no. So
yeah.
It's the same kind of thing. And I also think it's
the backfire effect. You remember that?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But I think it's also the nature of safety.
Yeah.
The safety of feeling the answer, what's true. Right?
I would disagree. I would say it's more.
I think
the idea
lot,
becomes so closely intertwined with your personality,
but there's
how you've built your life upon it, that when you question it, you are questioning the very being of that person's existence. And when you do that, you have to tread carefully because, I'm not an expert. This is just my opinion. But when you have an idea that is so much your personality and how you think and how you act, and it's questioned, it shakes the foundation. Not the foundation, but one of the core aspects of your very being. It's a cornerstone in Westworld.
Yeah,
you shatter that shit, that fucking thing breaks, and then you're left up questioning whatever else exists.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
So that's what it is. It's so intertwined with their personality and how they act as humans that doing that is dangerous, and people react. They can react violently because it's associated with defending their very being. That's why
they believe it's
just a strong belief that it is them. The belief is them.
Yeah. So let's hold off all of the other the religion stuff because I think we could probably keep that to a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Gives you encouragement to check us out every Thursday. Around 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, if you guys want to check us out. Maybe not next Thursday. Probably not next Thursday. Most definitely not next Thursday, but for future episodes. But Do you think chest hair is important? Nope.
No.
Shaved my chest hair once when I was younger. Dumbest idea I ever did.
Dude, I shaved my butt hair once when I was younger.
Hell yeah.
That was the dumbest shit.
That's weird.
That was dumb.
I
was like, dude,
lots
you
about
don't hold
facial
your butt
hair.
sweat in place?
Yikes.
Your ass hair.
Yikes.
Lessons with KonkyTalks 64.
Yeah, starting point for sure. Okay.
All right, Chris.
Why can't women get men pregnant?
Stupid.
Okay, thanks.
That's dumb.
Shave my asshole. Crack hair. Bad idea.
Yeah. Anybody who's done
bad. It's just. I mean, like, dude, if you grow hair, you grow hair. Like, get real. Like, it's gonna fucking happen.
Well, unless it's on your face. I mean, you should. You know, I feel like there's a certain unkempt look that can work for
Excuse
some
me?
people.
Huh?
Not unkempt.
Huh?
This man's got
I know, that's
fucking
true.
lines that are like.
But a lot of
goddamn
it.
perfect.
But truthfully, there are guys. Like, you look at a guy who can't necessarily grow a beard, but grows a beard, and you think that's gross. Again, because of, you know, the societal look at it. It's a total societal thing.
Maybe.
It totally is.
But if he's like an
you know,
unhealthy dude
that's
that's
true.
got a beard, then you're like, that is gross.
But that's not just the beard that's doing that. Like, everything else
it's a
about
combination
him.
of
Yeah,
that. It's
right.
an
It's about
unkemptness.
Because I know some solid ass dudes that got nasty beards, but they're
Why
good
am I a
people,
social
for sure.
outcast if I don't have eyebrows? Christopher Games, no more questions from you. I'm not gonna answer. I'm not even gonna humor you.
Yeah, what the hell?
Nobody wants butt whiskers. For sure, dude. I remember the bristles between my cheeks rubbing together, and it was uncomfortable.
Yikes.
Come on, man.
Any other, like, kind of specific questions? I think we're going to wrap up because I got to get home and eat some food.
I'm hungry, dude. This pizza behind me
Man.
is driving me nuts.
I'm like, I want pizza, but I'm not going to have pizza today. I'm going to go home and have some delicious shrimp and sausage.
Shrimp and sausage.
Sausage.
All right,
Any
guys.
sort of last questions that we got in the chat that we could probably answer? Maybe some quick ones. Yay or nay question answers. If you guys enjoy, like, raise your hand. Give us some hype if you guys
Can I
enjoyed
get
the
ones
show.
in chat if you enjoyed the show, twos in chat if you didn't enjoy the show?
Give us some ones and twos. Give us on the ones and twos.
Say
We just
like
want to
the
see if
show.
you guys enjoyed the show for tonight. Which actually, love those ones. But that actually brings up another point. Just like if you guys enjoyed this conversation, I know we did. We had a lot of fun for that. Like,
Agreed.
we just get deep in thought, man. But we appreciate if you guys would either, like, share the channel, get other people to join us. Again, it's every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If not, sometimes a little bit earlier.
Right.
And we just, and especially too, if you have ideas on talking subjects, and stuff like that, science related, could be society related, these kind of things, we would appreciate the feedback on that as well.
You can post them in the Discord. You can tweet
yeah.
them at us. KonkyDong64
Yeah.
on Twitter, or RtwoLeetwo on Twitter.
The Exp Talk Show on Twitter. The Exp Talk Show on Twitter. You guys can follow to get some deets there. Got a website, thexptalkshow.com. Posting it in the chat real quick.
Boop. You can get yourself a badass gorilla t-shirt if you want.
Get that gorilla tee. Get that
I've got very
Gorilla Tee
limited
logo.
quantities of those, just as a heads up. So
Get on
I
it.
don't have a lot of them. If you would like to purchase them, as soon as I sell the ones I have, I'll be able to buy more.
So
I
good.
love you
Totally
guys.
sexy show. And we didn't have to show no wieners.
We didn't need to show any wieners.
Right? We didn't
Just
have to show
this
any
dank-ass
wieners. Okay,
I
so
said
Christopher-
penis instead of pizza. I said
You got dick
ass-
on the mind, dude.
Yeah, I do.
So Christopher
dog on the
allegedly
mind.
has a serious question. Okay, I have a serious question, I swear. Does genetics affect your personality? Like, if your mom was a drug addict, am I more likely to be a drug addict too? Again, I think more of a
You're talking about
developmental
behavior.
thing. It's a behavior thing. My mom was and is an addict, and I feel like I can be stronger than that. But for the longest time, it's like I have two siblings. It was always like one of us is going to be that, but we're all still very strong human beings. And
this is a very deep
total
rooted
society,
question. I would say, when it comes down to it, you could be more likely to be addicted, but in all honesty, what addiction is, it's not genetic. It's all based on trauma growing up. And your
it's your
disconnection.
surroundings. It's totally your
it's all
surroundings.
environment.
If you're all surrounded by addiction, you're going to think it's normal, and then you're going to get sucked into it too.
Yeah.
But if it's just an element where it's like, and then you surround yourself with positivity and encouragement and good people and stuff like that,
I think you'd be good.
suck a motherfucker.
Suck a motherfucker. That's his catchphrase for those of you guys
Suck
who
a
are brand new.
motherfucker, man. Suck a motherfucker, man.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Lee phrase is "suck a motherfucker, dude."
I forgot where I heard that.
Oh
I
my
think it was from
god.
something, but-
Okay. Hold on 1 second. We gotta find somebody to raid. Okay.
How long did it take to grow the beard? It took like on and off for the past like 6-7 years, something like that. Because I would like trim it and grow it back out and stuff like that. But
We have
you know,
a
something
rare
around
photo
there.
of Lee without a beard that
There's-
somebody
there's pictures
photoshopped.
out there. Oh yeah. There's real pictures
they made
out there
your
without
face
me
look
without
super
a beard.
small.
But, yeah. But yeah, dude, like, yeah, it's fun. I enjoy this. I enjoy this little patch on my face.
Okay, so really quick question, guys. Would you like to see Dark Souls? Dark Souls, Warframe, or
Who's your best baby on Twitch that's live right now?
I don't have a best baby, unfortunately. It's kind of
Just
kind of
give those,
shitty right
give
now.
those kisses to the
Not
right
not many people are alive right now. Which
Give
is
somebody
weird.
give somebody on the lower view count. Talk about looking at view counts.
Y'all are two handsome chaps. It's nice. Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan Goost.
Well, let's do. How about we do it for Papa Raven? Could use some help.
Dude, yeah, just like someone who's got a little bit lower on the viewers that could use some fucking hype.
Where the
and
fuck
use
is
some,
he? Oh
some
damn.
goddamn sweet ass people.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
playing Neo right now. Nobody's playing Neo. Let's fucking pass this hot ass pizza off to the Raven calls.
Awesome.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. For those of you
Appreciate
guys
you
who are
guys.
subbed, y'all know what this Conky D cry shit is about, right? I have a new emo. It's just me crying.
So funny.
Don't be a baby.
Don't be a baby.
Get yourself
so good
some
on
gravy.
that emo.
There you go.
Don't be a baby. Get yourself some gravy.
This is the raid message, okay? Don't be a baby. Get yourself some gravy. You guys ready?
Let's go raid the other guys. Thanks again for those of you who joined us for this evening. Even if you joined us a little bit later, but just catch us every week. We like to hang out. Come hang out with us.
Love you
Follow
guys.
Steve. We'll see you guys next time. Kisses.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Wait, do I have the thing? Yeah.
Mwah.
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 Mwah. Don't be a baby. Get yourself some gravy.